Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome to Rugby Park with me, Alistair Lamont, Lee McCulloch alongside me as Rangers face a massive test of their title credentials against the Kilmarnock team in superb form. Their only defeat in 14 came against Rangers at Ibrox, but Philippe Clement's side are on pretty irresistible form themselves, winning the last 10 in a row to rise to the top of the table. And it will be the visitors who will get us underway in this first half. They're going from left to right as we look at it from the back of the main stand. Both sides lined up. Rangers in one of their change kits, red and blue top with navy shorts and red socks. Killie in the traditional blue and white stripes, blue shorts and socks. Referee David Dickinson is ready to get us underway, and it will be Tom Lawrence alongside Fabio Silva in the centre circle who will kick us off just as soon as the officials are ready to go. Some big games all around the country this evening. We will keep you up to date with what's going on in all of them, but the main focus for us is Kilmarnock against Rangers, with Derek McInnes's fourth place side looking to keep up a marvellous run of form as Tom Lawrence does get us underway and knocks it back to John Lundstrom. Rangers came a cropper here on the opening day of the season. Brad Lyons with the second half goal to give them the 3 points. Lee McCulloch, you and I were both here that day. Certainly a very different Rangers from them, but Kilmarnock have gone on and had a fabulous season. What do you expect this evening?
Yeah, definitely a very different Kilmarnock with a one defeat in 14. I think it's massive for them. They want to create that gap between them and St Mirren to try and help cement fourth place, maybe even give a late push for third, but I think that's unrealistic. As for Rangers, they want to keep that 2 point gap and keep momentum going as the games come thick and fast for them. They're playing a European game week, but it's all about this game tonight. I think it started pretty frantic, to be honest with you, so I think when the game settles down we'll get more of how they're going to play and the patterns of play.
It certainly feels like as big a test as Rangers have had in recent times. They came through that one against third place Hearts with flying colours, of course, at Ibrox on Saturday, but down here on the artificial surface, which, as you were saying earlier, hopefully should be a bit slicker than normal given the amount of rain we've had in the last couple of hours, but nonetheless you would imagine it's going to be a really tight contest here over the course of the next 90 minutes or so. So Rangers throwing out on the far side to be taken by Borna Barisic. Goes long looking for Lawrence. It's headed away by Donnelly, who's been an important part of that Kilmarnock midfield. Derek McInnes naming the same team for the third game in succession as things have been going pretty well for them. Rangers will have another throw in. Borna Barisic just been urged back a few yards by David Dickinson, still about 10 yards then inside Kilmarnock territory. The opening goal, of course, as ever, could be really important for either side as Silva flicks on. It's headed away, but only as far as Diamonde, looking for a third goal in as many games. He's fouled about 15 yards outside the penalty area, left hand side, and the referee has awarded Rangers a free kick in a decent position, Lee, for them to throw a few bodies forward and try and test Will Dennis in the Kilmarnock goal early doors. Yeah, Diamonde just picking the ball up there, great touch with him. He just drove forward, passed it out, and he's just been caught. Might have been Armstrong that's just caught him, nothing at all in it. He's caught him, but it's a chance for Tavernier to put the ball in with the delivery he's got and maybe test this Kilmarnock defence. Yep, Kilmarnock trying to hold the line just inside their own 18-yard box as Rangers trying to inflict early damage on that Kilmarnock backline. It's overhit though. It was Lawrence who took it ultimately, and he got far too much on it, and way behind for a goal kick to Kilmarnock, and that will allow them to get back into their shape. They're so well organised. Derek McInnes' side is so well drilled. They know exactly their function in the team, and it's operating as a terrific unit just at the moment, isn't it? Yeah, just going back to that free kick, that was really poor delivery. I actually think it was Barisic that put it in, and it was
it was terrible delivery. I would have liked to have seen an in-swinger get in to test the goalie in the defence, but obviously they've not practiced that on the training pitch for that particular move.
Yeah, it was a poor delivery. If it was, regardless, Barisic or Lawrence, you're probably right. Barisic taking that one as Ndaba has a throw in just down in front of us on the halfway line, left hand side for Kilmarnock, high in the air up towards the Kelly captain Vassell, who's been such an important figure for them, played forward then by Ndaba, but all the way through to Jack Butland, whose England recall credentials look to be growing. Everyone lining up to praise him and talk about how deserving he would be of that. Ross McCausland's done well against Finlay, right hand side into the box he goes. Silva with the shot, it's deflected, it's just wide, narrowly missing the post there as Silva's shot took a nick on the way through, and Rangers within inches of the opening goal. It will be a Rangers corner. 4.5 played. Kilmarnock 0, Rangers 0.
I just about to say, Rangers, the start of the game, Rangers have been going really direct, just like they've done St Johnstone away. They've gone direct. Jack Butland, an unbelievable kick out right to McCausland. He's beat Finlay, and the Silva took a deflection. It's just went past the post. It was unlucky.
Yeah, very unlucky for Rangers as Tavernier prepares to take the corner kick right hand side. Outswinger, in comes the header. It's saved well by Dennis. Goldson completely unchallenged. Well, there's claims in there from Kilmarnock players. I think it's Joe Wright who's on the deck, who I think probably feels he was blocked off in there, because Goldson had a complete free run and goal. Powerful header, but good save from Will Dennis.
Yeah, it looked as if he was blocked off with somebody else, but nonetheless, great run for Goldson, great contact, and what a save that was.
In comes the next corner, flicked on at the near post, in need towards goal there by Cortez, but it's into the arms of Will Dennis. But Kilmarnock almost going behind on a couple of occasions in quick succession there. Silva with a shot deflected wide, and then Goldson's header from the resultant corner, well saved by Will Dennis, but it remains goalless with just under 6 minutes on the clock. But a bright start from the visitors. They look to continue this winning run. 10 on the bounce since they lost to Celtic at Celtic Park. They've been pretty imperious since then, and kind of sense that if they can come away with the 3 points here, they will feel really good about themselves. Philippe Clement himself saying to Keradine pre-match that it would be another big step towards a potential title and reclaiming that crown that has been Celtic's for the most part of the decade and more. Kilmarnock have a free kick midway inside their own half, out to the right hand side. Will Dennis has come out of his box to take this one, and Kilmarnock yet to threaten the Rangers goal, but they'll be content to just play themselves into the game as Dennis knocks it long. Lundstrom meets it with the header about 30 yards from his own goal. McCausland can't hold on to it, and it's knocked back the way to Finlay, who hoists it high up towards Vassell, who contests it with Goldson, but he's beaten by the Rangers defender. Kilmarnock have it back through Ndaba, who's on the score sheet at the weekend, picked up by Watkins. Now it's Vassell, 25 yards from goal, out to Armstrong, right hand side, just clips it in on the left foot. It's a lovely ball. Goldson's first contact in there, heads it out, and that'll be a Kilmarnock corner. And you hear the home fans round about us getting to their feet to applaud their team. Their first meaningful attacks. A short corner quickly taken out to the right hand side. It comes off a Rangers body. It'll be another Kilmarnock corner, right hand side. Kilmarnock 0, Rangers 0, 7 in.
Yeah, it was good play for Kilmarnock there. They were going direct, so Goldson was winning his fair share, but they're picking up the second balls. They're getting the ball wide in the final third, and they're getting crosses in the box. That's where I think they could cause Rangers problems.
Another short corner taken to Polworth. The header comes in. Oh, I think the entire stadium thought that one was in, and I wasn't far away from it myself, but it just heads wide from Liam Donnelly and off the hoardings behind the goal. It didn't look like it missed by much, but it remains Kilmarnock 0, Rangers 0.
We spoke about it before, set plays. It was a great ball in. I don't know who was picking up Donnelly, but he got a free run at it, he got a free header at it, and it must have shaved the post there. It was a close call, but great play from Kilmarnock. Yeah,
everyone round about us rose to their feet to acclaim the ball hitting the back of the net, only to see it rebound off the advertising hoardings behind Jack Butland's goal, but it looked like it was within a whisker of going inside the post, as Barisic has some defending to do. It's been a good response here, and Barisic goes down with very little contact. Well, assistant has actually flagged and given it to Kilmarnock because Barisic got a slight nudge in the back. He goes down in dramatic fashion. Now he's reacted angrily because Armstrong's urging him to get to his feet. But it's one of those ones, Lee, where defenders, they feel a slight contact, they hit the deck, and 99 times out of 100 they get the decision. Well, not on this occasion. What do you think about that one?
100%. I don't know if there was contact, but for me, just seeing it in real time, it did go down very easily. And fair play if there's no contact to David Dickinson, who's just let the play go. He's actually obviously gave a foul to Kilmarnock, but I don't know, Barisic seems okay now. He seems to get back to that middle zone area of this free kick coming in, so it's dangerous for Rangers.
Celtic have gone one up. Carter Vickers on the score sheet against Dundee in the early stages, and it's Kilmarnock looking to open the scoring here. They played a short free kick. It's back with Armstrong, tries to cut it. Big claims for handball. What's a penalty to Kilmarnock? Lundstrom had his arms raised as he went out to try and block the cross coming in from Armstrong, and David Dickinson barely hesitated before pointing to the spot. And with 9.5 minutes on the clock, Kilmarnock have the opportunity from the penalty spot to open the scoring.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, and that's the rules. Armstrong's went to cross the ball. Lundstrom's jumped up to block it. His hand looks as if it's out. It's clear contact with his hand, and for me, obviously VAR are checking it, but for me that will be a penalty. I'll be very surprised if it's not a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looked that way to me as well. The VAR is Andrew Dallas, and he will just examine the handball contact, to make sure it was inside the box, which it did look to be, and to make sure it was an offence worthy of the spot kick. But it certainly, to both Lee and myself, looked to be as Danny Armstrong prepares to step up here, and a penalty's been given, and so Jack Butland now faces Danny Armstrong as Kilmarnock have the opportunity to strike the opening blow here at Rugby Park. Butland a yard or so behind his line at the moment, clad all in yellow, awaiting the Danny Armstrong left-footed penalty. It's an interesting tactic from Butland, still a good yard or so behind his goal line. David Dickinson is telling him he has to come onto it. Butland's wagging the finger to say no, I'm not going to do that. So up steps Danny Armstrong against Butland, he scores! Straight down the middle, and Kilmarnock have the opening goal with 11 minutes on the clock. It is Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, Danny Armstrong kept his cool there. Jack Butland, a little bit of mind games. He was standing right next to the net, right in the goals. The referees told him to go on the line and he said no. But fair play, Armstrong steps up, cool as you like, down the middle, right at Butland's feet. Butland dives to his right, out the way. It's 1-0 Killie.
7th goal of the season for Danny Armstrong, who has been sensational over the last season and a half for the Rugby Park side, and it is he who has opened the scoring. Philippe Clement's got something to say to the fourth official David Munro down there about the whole episode, but the fact remains Rangers trail in these early stages, and Danny Armstrong from the spot after John Lundstrom had handled his cross. And Rangers have to respond now. They haven't faced a whole lot of adversity in this recent run, but they have to come from behind, which they failed to do back here in August, albeit they had less time to do so. Here they come looking for a quick response as Diamonde into the box, right hand side, gets the ball back in to a central area, but it's cleared away by Donnelly, picked up on this near side by Kennedy, but it's out of play for a Rangers throw, and Tavernier takes it quickly into Lawrence into the box. Finlay just trying to shepherd it behind, which he manages to do. Kilmarnock goal kick. They've played 12.5 minutes, and it's been a whirlwind start here, and it's the home fans, Lee, who are happier at the moment.
Yeah, of course, and so they should be. It's a definite penalty, looking back on it. I think at the start of the game, both teams going direct, and then Goldson was winning everything. Kilmarnock started picking up the second ball. They started getting the ball out wide, and they were looking a threat with the balls come in. They should have scored just before the goal, but Armstrong kept his cool from the spot. I think the next 10 minutes for Kilmarnock, they need to settle back into the game. They look a little bit rushed just now. If they settle back into the game, they can get that momentum going again and push for a second.
Here come Kilmarnock again down the left hand side. It's Kennedy in off the left with the right foot, just tries to slip it through for Watkins. It's cut out though. It'll be interesting. I wonder if Philippe Clement's main beef about it goes back to the initial free kick that was awarded against Barisic, if you remember, when he went down in a free kick that would often be given to the defending side. But I think in both our views it was right to go in Kilmarnock's favour in that case.
Yeah, having not seen it again, I think Barisic just feels. Defenders usually feel anything and just go down and they get the foul. But maybe it was the manner he went down. Maybe there was contact, I don't know, but it didn't look like there was. But that's gone now. I think from a Rangers perspective, there's still a long way to go at the game. They just need to be patient and don't rush things. Whereas Kilmarnock, they need to stay in their compact shape and concentrate in their defensive duties.
It's Rangers in possession just inside Kilmarnock territory. It's Suter who was kind of culpable, I would say, at the Kilmarnock goal back here in August. But he has recovered and had a fine season, especially in recent times alongside Connor Goldson. More or less the first choice pairing, you'd have to say, at the back for Rangers, as John Suter picks up possession once more and plays it into the feet of Cortez. Diamonde then on for Silva. McCausland doesn't really know where the ball is, eventually gives chase, but Kennedy's there first and just hacks it downfield, and Derek McInnes waves the rest of his side up the park. Goldson keeps it in play just inside his own half and plays it square to Suter. We've played a quarter of an hour and it's Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0. Danny Armstrong's penalty after a Lundstrom handball has given the home side the advantage. As I mentioned just before that went in, Celtic lead at Celtic Park against Dundee. So as things stand, they would go back to the top of the table, but a lot of football to be played over the course of the evening. We'll keep you up to date with all that goes on elsewhere. Sports Scenes on air at 10:40 on BBC One tonight, where you'll catch all the goals and major talking points. Here's Goldson just outside the centre circle, plays it back square for Suter. Kilmarnock staying compact, forward it goes to Lawrence, pokes it through for Cortez, it's just too much on it, and off his line comes Will Dennis as Derek McInnes again out at the edge of his technical area trying to get messages on about staying switched on for runs off the ball. It was a good idea from Lawrence for Cortez, but didn't quite come off, Lee.
Yeah, it was good play, it was good vision from Tom Lawrence. Great touch and just a little threaded ball through, just too much for Cortez. But what I've noticed is since Kilmarnock have scored, their back line have dropped an extra 10 yards. That means their midfield has dropped and their strikers have come off the game a little bit, allowing Rangers comfortable possession, where at the start of the game they were in their face.
Here's Kennedy trying to help it into the penalty area.
They were in their face, pressing high, putting the Rangers defenders under pressure. Since they've scored, they've come off the game a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Do you think that's something that they've been asked to do, or do you think that's just a natural reaction almost to going behind and feeling they've got to try and defend that lead?
Yeah, I think it's very natural. I don't think Derek would have said sit back an extra 10 yards. I think it's just natural, you protect that lead, but as the game goes on, that's where you start to creep back up the pitch, when you get that belief again.
Here's Ndaba crossing from the left hand side, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Did he get a glove to that? Has it hit the roof of the net? No, straight behind for a goal kick. 17 minutes played, Rangers trailing by a goal to nil. Kilmarnock's only defeat in the last 14 games came against Rangers at Ibrox. That 3-1 victory when McCausland, Sima and Cantwell were on the score sheet. Of course, neither Sima nor Cantwell available to Rangers just at the moment, as they come forward looking to try and test Will Dennis. It's Silva getting it back to Lundstrom on the halfway line. Diamonde now for Suter. Suter just inside his own half, looking for options forward. He goes right to Tavernier, who continues play in that direction for McCausland. Back in field now for Diamonde, helps it on now for Lundstrom. Lundstrom forward to Cortez, tries to skip away from his man, goes for goal, and Dennis has to get down and get a touch to that. Wow, that was some effort from Cortez, taking everyone almost by surprise. 30 yards from goal, unleashing a shot that looked like it was going to be on target, might have found the bottom corner but for Will Dennis's touch, and it's a Rangers corner.
That was great play. He's just played into his feet, but he's turned. He's got explosive speed. When he turns, the space opens up and he hits a shot, as you say, for 30 yards. What a save for Will Dennis, right to tap it round the post for a corner.
Rangers on the lookout now for a quick equaliser, having fallen behind in the early stages. Tavernier from the right hand side again. Goldson finds himself completely unmarked. This time he can't get it anywhere near on target, just couldn't rise high enough and mistimed it almost. Couldn't trouble Will Dennis. But again, Kilmarnock players complaining that there's blocking going on in there. I mean, it happens all the time in the modern game. If you're cute enough, you get away with it, and it seemed that Rangers were able to free up Connor Goldson for the second time there.
Yeah, he must be getting blocked because he's not allowed 2 free runs, and that's his head. He should have done better with that one's a little bit higher. But if there is a clear and obvious block, then VAR will bring it back, just like we've seen in the Liverpool Cup final the weekend with the free kick with Van Dijk's first goal. So it happens. It's happened in football for the last 30, 40, 50 years. Sometimes some teams practice on the training pitch to actually block a man to let the attacker go and get a free run. It's happened twice so far. Nobody's picked up on it.
Kilmarnock have got a corner kick actually in the right hand side, just took a nick off a Rangers player as it was knocked down the line, and they couldn't keep it in, and therefore Kilmarnock will have another opportunity here to try and add to their advantage in these early stages. Again taken short to Polworth. Did that swing out of play? It's certainly gone too far, but Vassell will retrieve it on this left hand side about 25 yards from the goal line. Tavernier nips in to steal the pass off Donnelly, and then Lundstrom knocks it forward. Silva tries to head it down to a teammate, but he succeeds in giving it back to a Kilmarnock player. Donnelly tries to help it on. He's managed to do that for Watkins down at the corner flag on this left hand side as Kilmarnock come forward. 1-0 Killie lead. Kennedy well challenged by Cortez, back doing some defensive duties on the right flank, and it will be a throw into Kilmarnock. Corey Ndaba takes it quickly into the feet of Kennedy, and then back to the left back Ndaba. Polworth now back to Kennedy, left hand side. Armstrong wanted the ball played. Kennedy takes it on himself, wins the corner of Diamonde, and it's a good spell this for Kilmarnock as they continue to crank up the pressure. Livingston have scored at home against Motherwell. Yengi is the goal scorer, so goals in 3 games of the 5 so far as Kilmarnock prepares to take the corner kick from the left hand side this time. Armstrong and Kennedy over it again. It's played short. 2. That's a brilliant ball in from Armstrong. How did no Kilmarnock player get on the end of that inside the 6 yard box? Everyone waited on it, everyone missed it, and Rangers survived. And they come on the counter, but that's cut out by Polworth. But these Kilmarnock set pieces are causing all sorts of problems in the early stages for the Rangers backline as Tavernier intercepts from Armstrong and gets it back to Butland, whose clearance isn't brilliant, falls for Polworth. He's almost dispossessed by Diamonde, but good work from McCausland to make sure Rangers keep possession. And now it's Suter on the edge of his own box.
Just come back to that set play, Alistair. It's Armstrong that puts the ball in. That's world class, the way he's delivering the balls. Rangers don't look assured at set plays, defensive set plays. I think it was Stuart Finlay who's just missed making contact with the ball, maybe about 4 yards out. Any contact and that's a goal. I think also in wide areas when Kilmarnock are going forward, Rangers fullbacks need to stop the crosses a little bit better and get closer to the wide players. But Kilmarnock, last maybe 5 minutes, have been the better team.
Yeah, certainly have. And the goal from Danny Armstrong from the spot, it's just the 5th that Rangers have conceded away from home in their 14 games so far in the league. It's by far and away the best defensive record in the league, but they've been breached already as Cortez comes forward looking for an equaliser. Just nudges it back behind Lundstrom, who'll go back and get it to Barisic. Barisic clips it into the middle, away by Finlay, goes down dramatically, and he gets the free kick for the attentions of Silva, and Aramida has added to Celtic's advantage at Celtic Park. Carter Vickers and Aramida on the score sheet. 2-0 they lead Dundee. Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0 here, and it's going to be a Kilmarnock free kick with a quarter of the game gone.
Yeah, Rangers getting the ball wide there and getting crosses in the box, and it's going to be a big ask tonight, and they've started the game so well. Was that partnership we spoke about before the game? Mayo and Finlay, the 2 centre halves, they've been 2 rocks the last maybe 14 games with 1 defeat. I think when the balls are coming in, the box crosses are getting fizzed in the box. They've got their hand on the man, but they're aggressive when they go and attack that ball, just like we've seen just there with Stuart Finlay.
Silva trying to bring a forward ball under control, but Mayo steps in and knocks it back to his goalkeeper, who clears long. First time Goldson lets it bounce, then heads it over to Tavernier with Kennedy trying to close him down. 23 played. Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0. Danny Armstrong's 12th minute penalty after a Lundstrom handball is the difference between the sides here. Goalless at Tawdry and also in the Edinburgh Derby, as last I heard certainly. Goals at Celtic Park, 2 for them and 1 for Livingston at home to Motherwell, which could be huge if they go on and win that one and try and give themselves a lifeline at the bottom. 3-0 Celtic actually. Matt Riley's got himself on the score sheet. It seems like it's been a while since Celtic have turned a team over, and already with about 24 minutes on the clock there are 3 goals to the good at Celtic Park against Dundee. John Lundstrom has it for Rangers, midway inside his own half. Now Goldson. Forwards it goes for McCausland. Rangers trying to zip the ball about quickly, but they've been frustrated so far, and again they are, as Silva can't latch on to that pass, and Finlay gets it back to his goalkeeper. Goldson with the commanding header. Diamonde picking up in the midfield. He's quickly closed down there by Watkins, and then in comes Joe Wright to head it forwards as Kilmarnock determined to keep the back door shut here against Rangers, who for a couple of efforts that Will Dennis has dealt well with, but beyond that they haven't looked to be able to penetrate particularly. Here's Lundstrom out to the left hand side for Suter coming forward. Down the left flank he goes. Barisic is well advanced. Suter's into the box now, tries to lift it over Will Dennis, and he's just gone wide with the effort. Not sure in the end if he was trying to find the back post or indeed if it was an attempt at a cross. Either way, it just drifts harmlessly behind Will Dennis's goal after 25 minutes, but it was a purposeful run from the centre back, allowed to come a long way, and in the end he just couldn't quite deliver.
That's what he does so well. He's so composed on the ball. He's got an unbelievable passing range, but he steps into midfield very well. The gap just opened up. He's at the edge of the box, and I'm not sure whether it was a cross or a shot myself. Let's say it was a cross, but it'd be a poor cross.
Rangers have it through McCausland. He heads forward, so does Silva, but Kilmarnock thump it back up the field. Vassell though can't find the goal scorer Armstrong, and Cortez slips on this artificial pitch, which I guess he'll be relatively used to. I'm sure they probably got them in Denmark where he'd been playing, but it's not many footballers' favourite surface, but it's one they have to deal with here, and it's one they have to deal with if they're going to try and mount a title challenge and overcome the 1 goal deficit they are currently facing, as Barisic prepares to take the throw in over on the far side, level with the 18-yard box inside his own territory. Silva trying to come forward, but again Kilmarnock thwart that particular attempt, and Suter almost getting his back pass to Butland's wrong, but Butland comes out and knocks it long up to the halfway line. Forward it comes again from Kilmarnock. Barisic gets his head to it, and Lundstrom picks up. He's quickly challenged there, and it's out of play, and it's going to be, I think, perhaps a Rangers free kick right in the touchline. And David Dickinson just having a word there with Fabio Silva, I think, for something that went on off the ball earlier on. Anyway, it's going to be a Rangers throw in actually. 26.5 minutes on the clock. Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0. Killie unbeaten in the last 8 at home, 1-6 and drawn 2 of those, and winning the last 3 since a 1-0 defeat by Hearts back at the start of December. So I think if Rangers didn't know it was going to be a tough test, which I'm sure they did, but they certainly know now. Here's McCausland trying to play it forward for Diamonde down the right hand side, and it goes to Lawrence we haven't seen too much of, and he's a couple of yards off with the pass back to McCausland, but he goes and gets it and finds Lundstrom, and now it's Barisic out to Cortez, far side, Rangers left, back with Barisic, first time ball in, it's a deep one. It doesn't look a very good one, although Tavernier might try and make something of it. Eventually it's headed half clear by Ndaba. Rangers pick up once more. Lawrence at the edge of the penalty area finds Tavernier right hand side. Tavernier comes in off that flank looking for options. Diamonde's there and he gets it, but 30 yards from goal, tries to spin away from his marker, tries I think the shot there, but didn't really come off. Silva trying to make something of it, comes back to Tavernier midway inside Kilmarnock half. Silva now back for Diamonde. Not a great ball from him, but Cortez manages to keep it in play, and now it's Barisic. Barisic steps away from Armstrong. Now Diamonde midway inside the Kilmarnock half. David Dickinson waving play on as Rangers continue in possession. Hibs have opened the scoring at Tynecastle in the Edinburgh Derby. We'll bring you the scorer shortly. Here's McCausland for Rangers, right hand side. Rangers staying patient, looking for the opening here. as Lundstrom plays it to Suter, 10 yards inside the Kilmarnock half. Now back out with Barisic, more or less on that left touchline. Into the box it comes. Finlay though easily able to clear, only as far though as Lundstrom. Lundstrom about 25 yards from goal, quickly closed down by Donnelly. Barisic gets it back to Lundstrom, to Suter rather, and now it's Tavernier and Diamonde, and Kilmarnock working ever so hard to close the spaces down. There's no easy passes for Rangers to break through, and it's Tavernier inside the centre circle, quickly closed down by Kennedy. Marcondes was a goal scorer for Hibs incidentally. 1-0 they lead at Tynecastle. Hearts, who were well beaten at Ibrox, continuing to struggle, as are Rangers here at Rugby Park, you'd have to say. Enjoying plenty of possession just at the moment with 29 minutes on the clock, but unable to find an equaliser as yet. McCausland back to Goldson inside his own half, plays it square for Suter. Forward he comes into the feet of Diamonde. Slightly heavy touch, quickly closed down by Donnelly. It's back with Suter and square again for Goldson. Got to applaud this Kilmarnock organisation. It's so difficult for Rangers to break them down.
Yeah, Rangers are just recycling the ball left to right, waiting for. Here we go. No, waiting for gaps in the Kilmarnock defence. The full Kilmarnock team need to shuffle left to right. Rangers are just playing the ball left to right. Kilmarnock are using up a bit of energy. It just takes one player not to be in his role, and that's where the gap comes. And it's usually like Tom Lawrence that's the one that will receive it in the half turn. It didn't happen there, but I think that's what they'll be looking for. Tom Lawrence will be just looking to get in their pockets in the half turn. Diamande from a sitting position will pop up into a 10 position. Then they'll be turning and looking for Silva in the slip passes.
Rangers have lost just the once under Philippe Clement in 27 games. That was against Celtic, 127, and drawn 3 otherwise in all competitions. But they are trailing here after half an hour at Rugby Park, and you have to say Kilmarnock are pretty deserving of that advantage so far, Lee.
Yeah, I think so. There's Rangers have a couple of efforts from Silva's shot that just went deflected past the post. Goldson, a couple of headers. Kilmarnock been the same, couple of headers that they should have scored from corners, and they obviously got the penalty, which looks like it was richly deserved. So Kilmarnock, the way they've defended, especially in the last maybe 5-6 minutes, they've been sitting deep, moving left to right as we spoke about. Their strikers working ever so hard. I think Kilmarnock, it's been a pretty even game, to be honest with you. There's not been a standout. Rangers have the bulk of possession, Kilmarnock have been defending really well. A penalty splits the two teams at the moment, but there's still a long way to go in this match.
Celtic are running amok currently at Celtic Park. It's now 4-0 they lead Dundee with just over half an hour played in that particular game, so they are responding to some criticism that's come their way over the last few months, and winning emphatically in these early stages. Here's Polworth for Kilmarnock, trying to fire out to the left hand side for Armstrong, but Barisic was in the way. Cortez with a lovely little flick to get away from right, comes over the halfway line and then tries to find Silva. Silva's well tracked though by Ndaba. Good challenge from the fullback, and he gets it up to Vassell. Now it's lifted forward by Watkins for Kennedy down the left. Across come Tavernier and Golson to try and stop the cross. They haven't done that, but its cross is straight into the arms of Jack Butland, who immediately launches it long, looking for McCausland in behind Ndaba, but Ndaba gets the head to it and nods it down for Polworth on the halfway line. Philippe Clement right on the touchline, ordering his players to come up and close down Polworth as he came forward. 32 played. It's Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0. Maida with the latest Celtic goal. Carter Vickers, Ida, O'Reilly and Maida on the score sheet in the first half, almost in the opening half hour there. Things not going so well for their rivals here at Rugby Park. Celtic have come a cropper twice here, once in the League Cup, once in the league, and Rangers in the opening day of the season. Is it going to be the double for Kilmarnock over the Old Firm as Tavernier plays it into the area, swept away by Ndaba just inside the box and out for a throw-in. Two Rangers, right hand side. Tom Lawrence will come across and quickly take it into Goldson, pretty much on the halfway line. You play it square for Suter, more or less on the centre spot. 12 minutes to the interval. Rangers trailing by a goal to nil. Danny Armstrong from the spot after a Lundstrom handball was spotted just 12 minutes in. the goal was scored, and Rangers haven't been able to respond, nor have Kilmarnock been able to add to that thus far. As Lee said, pretty even contest on the whole, as Goldson plays a straight ball through for Diamondi, midway inside the Kilmarnock half now, trying to spin one way then the other. He does have good balance and movement, but he's caught out there. He didn't realise Watkins was tracking back, and it's excellent play from the Kilmarnock front man, and then Armstrong goes down looking for the foul against Barisic. He's not only got that, but it's a yellow card for Barisic, who's having a tough time against Danny Armstrong this evening. They've got history. I'm sure Armstrong's red card against Kilmarnock involved Borna Barisic last season. I couldn't tell you for absolute gospel, but that is in the back of my mind, that the two of them have a bit of history in this fixture. Anyway, it's a yellow card for Barisic on this occasion, and a free kick to Kelly just inside their own half to be taken by Armstrong, who has really been terrific, not only this evening but for the past season and a half. Really, it's interesting to me that he wasn't really used in Derek McInnes' first season in charge in the Championship, but as soon as he came up to the Premiership, he's really come into his own. And here come Kilmarnock down the left hand side. It's Vassell. He's surrounded by a couple of Rangers players. It's out off McCausland, and it'll be a Kilmarnock throw in. We've got 10 minutes left in the opening period, and Kilmarnock leads by 1-0.
Yeah, just on Armstrong, I think he's a real handful. He didn't play that first year, but I think he's grown massively in confidence as the Premier League seasons have went past, and he's a real handful there. But he's got Barisic booked in the 35th minute, just with complete skill. Barisic dives in, feels the contact, he goes down when Armstrong shifts the ball. He's composed, he's got great delivery, he's got a bit of pace, he's got an eye for a goal. I don't know what he's got left in his contract, but I imagine that there must be teams looking at him.
Yeah, 18 months I think Derek McInnes was talking about the fact that there must, as you say, must be teams looking at him, but Danny Armstrong I think has played all that kind of chat down. But if he keeps up this form, yeah, you never know. Kilmarnock fans won't be wanting us to speculate about that, but there was also talk of whether he might yet work his way into the Scotland team. You never know, he's certainly on terrific form, Scotland squad at least. Lots of players keen to do that in the next few months. Corey Ndaba about to take the Kilmarnock throw-in on the halfway line left hand side. 9 minutes left in this first period. Watkins down for Vassell, can't bring it under control, and Lawrence has nicked it and plays it forward looking for Silva. Finlay under a bit of pressure here, but he's done well, and he gets it back to Will Dennis at the edge of his 6-yard box. Time to measure the ball forward and just thumps it up looking for Watkins, who's beaten in the jump by Suter. Picked up by Donnelly though on the halfway line, then Polworth, and then Ndaba forward down the left. Tavernier penalised for going into the back of Kennedy, who's quickly moving, and Ndaba wanted to take the free kick quickly and wasn't allowed to do so, and David Dickinson just with a word in the ear there of Ross McCausland for kicking the ball away. Kilmarnock free kick then, about 15 yards inside the Rangers half left hand side. 1-0 the home side lead, and looking to try and create something again here.
This is where they're a threat, Al. They're a threat set plays because of the delivery and the stature they've got attacking the ball.
Yeah, let's see what happens then as Armstrong swings it in from the left hand side. Diamondi, and then Cortez going to pick up at the edge of the box for Rangers. Just overruns it though, he showed far too much of that to Liam Donnelly, who fancies his chances. Couple of ricochets there off Rangers players, and it breaks kindly for Jack Butland as we hear that Celtic have gone 5 up before half time. Greg Taylor, a former Killie man, the latest to get on the score sheet there. What a performance that sounds like at Celtic Park against Dundee. 5-0 the champions lead, and they're heading back to the top of the table if things stay the way they are, but Rangers will have something to say about that no doubt over the next half and a bit, as Ndaba just heads behind. The ball came into the box. Derek McInnes not entirely happy with that, but I think Ndaba couldn't take any chances with McCausland lurking behind him, and it will be a Rangers corner right hand side. 7.5 minutes of this half left as Rangers search for an equaliser.
You've got to say it's not been a first half, I know there's still a bit of time left, with supreme quality, but it's been end to end and very entertaining. I think there's been a few chances. Both teams have defended really well at times. Both teams have let crosses come in the box at times. and there's chances here.
Yeah, and this could be another one as it's floated in from Tavernier, flicked away by Vassell as far as Lawrence at the edge of the box, just trying to hold it up, allows Lundstrom to get into a crossing position, glanced on at the near post by a Kilmarnock header, I think, but they managed to deal with the second ball, and it's away out of the penalty area, and Diamondi going all the way back to Butland, and then Polworth's at the chase, and Butland just there before him, but I think Diamondi pulled Polworth back there to just impede him as he came forward. Now it's Rangers coming forward, in from Lundstrom looking for Silva, and Daba gets the clearance. The home fans are incensed because I think they feel, as I did, that Diamondi just held Polworth back initially, and Butland had to be right on his toes to get there just before the midfielder, who was racing forward. Butland midway inside his own half just got the clearance away. Kilmarnock could have been in, and Diamondi could have been in hot water. VAR will have a look at that, you know, as Kilmarnock get a free kick.
Yeah, I think we're just going in real time. Diamondi does make contact, but I think he runs across who was it? Was Polworth. He runs across Polworth's path to slow him, but I'm not sure he's pulled him back, but I might be wrong.
Yeah,
David Dickinson's calling him over maybe here.
Yeah, the Kilmarnock players are protesting about that instant now that the game has stopped. Polworth and Vassell making the point. Now,
nonetheless, Al, it's a slack back pass.
Very.
That it came from. If he passes it back to Butland correctly, then there wouldn't be an issue. But it's a slack back pass, which Watkins has then jumped on, or Polworth has jumped on, sorry.
It is.
I thought that was VAR.
Yeah, I mean,
no,
I think it's just the PA.
Sorry.
I thought also that it might have been saying that there was a check for something, but it looks like if there was a check, then it's quickly been given the OK as Kilmarnock do take the free kick. It's flicked on, but Butland is there. But certainly it was a moment of major concern for Rangers again, as Diamondi was shot with the back pass, and Butland had to race off his line to make sure that Polworth didn't get in to notch the number 2 for Kilmarnock on the evening. There's a foul there on Cortez by Armstrong on the left hand side, and Rangers will have the free kick. It's getting a little bit feisty now as Kilmarnock defend their advantage. 5 minutes left in this first period. They lead by a goal to nil. Danny Armstrong, the man who gave away that free kick, scored from the penalty spot. His 7th goal of the season and 5th in the league, as Rangers have a free kick and determined and desperate to get in level at half time. It'll be Barisic to take this one, more or less midway inside the Kilmarnock half, left touchline, just a few yards in from it, as the Croatian lines the free kick up. Danny Armstrong doesn't necessarily look like he's 10 yards away, and that's what Barisic is complaining about, but I think he's pretty much been told to get on with it. And it comes in high in the air. Suter nods it down, back the way though. Diamondi tries the effort, but he's dragged it wide. Never any threat to Will Dennis in the Kilmarnock goal, and it remains after 41.5 minutes. Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, it was Barisic with the delivery there. He was complaining before he kicked the ball. It's a really floaty delivery, meaning really high. Goldson, I think, competes for it. Whether he wins it or not, just falls to Diamondi in the box, at the edge of the box. He's took a touch, and it's I think the ball just in between, in the middle of his 2 feet. He's hit it with his left foot just in the instep, and it just went past the near post. Not a big chance, but still, going in his last 2 goals, I think you need to call it a chance for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's hit them from outside the box, one left foot, one right foot, both terrific finishes, but he couldn't hit the target on that occasion. And with 3 minutes left, it's Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0, and Kilmarnock have got a throw in right hand side, taken short this time to Donnelly and back the way to Polworth. He sweeps it into the penalty area, away by Goldson, returned by Ndaba. Vassell can't bring it under control, and that would have been an opportunity had he been able to do so, but it goes all the way through to Butland, who immediately releases Cortez stepping away from Polworth, and out to the right hand side it goes to Lawrence. Rangers looking for an equaliser before the interval. Still it's Lawrence, clips it in, it's not a great ball. Donnelly heads it only as far as McCausland, right hand side. It was a curious header. McCausland into Tavernier, well challenged by Vassell, breaks to Lawrence once more. Tavernier with decent feet initially, but he's robbed by Kennedy, and Kennedy will come forward down the left hand side, claiming he was nudged in the back there, and again it's an instance of a player going down rather easily, and Goldson's disgust at the decision has earned him a yellow card for dissent. Free kick Kilmarnock.
Yeah, I think Connor Goldson should know better. I think it's Kennedy. He's went down easily, but he's played for it. He's felt contact go down, just like most other players on the pitch. And as the game gets on, Connor Goldson, a couple of the Rangers players are getting a little bit more aggressive in the mannerisms. They're becoming a little bit more animated, which means they're starting to feel a little bit of the pressure. They just need to bring a sense of composure back on the pitch. I think they take half time, get back in, regroup and start with a new game plan for the second half.
Just over a minute left then in this first half as Kilmarnock take the free kick. Corey Ndaba from the left hand side on the halfway line. It's headed away by Suter. That's a poor touch from Donnelly, allows Silva to pick up, but a good foot in there from Kennedy. Ndaba keeps it in only momentarily though. Down the left it goes, and it's a throw into Rangers, quickly taken by Tavernier into Diamondi. Manages to get the pass off before he's closed down by a combination of Kennedy and Watkins. Kilmarnock are working ever so hard. Rangers frustrated so far in their quest for a leveller as Goldson picks up in the final minute of the opening 45. Stoppage time will be added, and the fourth official, David Monroe, about to display his board to show us exactly how much is added on. There's a ball forward for Silva there, and he couldn't make anything of it. He'll try and contest this one again up against Lewis Mayo, the former Rangers player. Again, Silva comes out on top. Kilmarnock get the free kick for an offside, which allows me to tell you that St Johnstone have gone one up at Pittodrie. Neil Warnock's start to his interim career there, it hasn't gone particularly well. Nicky Clark from the spot has put St Johnstone ahead at Pittodrie. So goals in all the games in the Premiership this evening. 1-0 St Johnstone at Pittodrie, 5-0 Celtic against Dundee, Hearts 0, Hibs 1 and Livingston 1, Motherwell 0. 1-0 Kilmarnock here, and we're into 1 minute of added on time as Philippe Clement loses the hat as he prepares to take his side down the tunnel and try and sort them out for a second half in which they've got to find a couple of goals. And there's a head knock here. Dundee have got a goal back actually before half time. Curtis Main with what is already even at this stage simply a consolation. Rangers have a free kick midway inside their own half, and it's quickly taken by Suter for Lundstrom. Looks like it's going to be 1-0 Kilmarnock at half time, and Rangers have got a big job in their hands in the second period as Kilmarnock look to win for the second time against their opponents at Rugby Park this season. Ndaba doing good work against McCausland. Wouldn't be surprised if we see at least a couple of changes from Philippe Clement at half time as Watkins is taken out of play there by Diamondi, and it will be a free kick to Kilmarnock right on the touchline here on the left hand side, midway inside the Rangers half. And although we've gone beyond the 1 minute of stoppage time, there might just be time for Kilmarnock to take this and try and add to their advantage before they go up the tunnel here at Rugby Park. It's Danny Armstrong and Matty Kennedy over it. Kennedy moves away and it'll just be Armstrong, and we know what his kind of deliveries can be like as Kilmarnock look for a second goal before half time. Armstrong left footed into the box it goes. It's Vassell who wins it, but he wasn't really set for the header and it's well off target in the end, and it will be a Rangers goal kick, and that does mean that we'll go in 1-0 Kelly at half time as the half time whistle sounds, and it's the home fans who rise in acclaim for the first half display here, which has been well in keeping with most of the performances over the course of the season. They have been terrific, and they got the early breakthroughs. A couple of efforts from Rangers before that. Silva with a shot deflected wide, and then Goldson with a header that was well saved by Will Dennis in the opening minutes before Liam Donnelly himself at the other end flashed a header just wide. But then came the goal from the penalty spot. An Armstrong cross was handled just at the edge of the box by John Lundstrom as he tried to get out to close it down. The referee pointed to the spot, and up stepped Danny Armstrong himself to stroke it home straight down the middle as Butland dived to his right, and that was the opening goal. Cortez had an effort tipped wide from about 30 yards. Beyond that, there hasn't been too much in the way of goalmouth action. There was a moment of slight panic in the Rangers backline as Diamondi was shot with a back pass that Butland had to race out and clear before Polworth capitalised. But beyond that, Rangers have been unable to really trouble Will Dennis in the Kilmarnock goal and haven't found an equaliser. Will they do so in the second half? An interesting 45 still to come here at Rugby Park But at half time, it's Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0.
A big hello to Sophia Reid, who's turning 8 on the 11th of March. She's a junior trust member and plays for the Killie Girls Academy under-10s team. And lastly, happy 75th birthday to Charlie Hodgson.
Spot, so Aberdeen 0, St Johnstone 1. Aberdeen are majorly in the thick of the battle at the bottom of the table. Make no mistake about it now, if they lose that match, Aberdeen are in a relegation fight. Here at Tynecastle, one apiece. We are in the 4th minute of stoppage time. 4 were added. I would imagine there'll be some time on top of that as Miller bowls a long throw into the Hearts box. It's away by Bushiri, and then turned back out to this near side by Mariah Welsh. Miller's ball across, breaks to Marcondes. What a good save by Clark to keep Marcondes out in the half volley. It stays 1-1. What a chance it was for Marcondes to get his second. He's to settle for a corner. It is 1-1.
Yeah, ball played into the box by Miller. It lands at Marcondes. It comes up off his thigh. It sits up perfect for him. He catches it in the volley. I think Xander Clark's blinded by the defender in front of him, and somehow he manages to get his arm to it. It's a great save, but Hibs will feel that's an opportunity missed. Really good chance.
Brilliant save. Great skill as well, again from the Hibs player, but what a wonderful save that was.
Well, there's a game in our hands here now, that's for sure. Marcondes is going to take the corner, and I think he's kind of claiming that there are a couple of Hearts fans with hands on him over there. And there's some stewards making their way. I mean, it doesn't take much for, in this kind of fixture, to set things off. And we saw the players were dealing with coming from the Roseburn earlier as Marcondes whips the corner in. Bushiri's header back across, chance off the line to deny Dylan Venta. It's still in there. Mizani tries to force it towards goal. It's blocked and cleared, and Hearts have dodged 2 bullets here deep in first half stoppage time in the derby. It's 1-1 and another Hibs corner.
I think it's Kingsley that gets it off the line in the end.
Yep.
Hibs have been dangerous from set plays.
It's well worked again, overhit it to the back post and then take the second phase when it's headed back across. They're really unlucky there.
It was Dylan Venta who very nearly scored for Hibs there. They've still got a chance. Marcondes, good corners, headed away wide by Miller this time, and the referee says he was fouling his man as well. That's going to be a free kick to Hearts inside their own box. So just about the interval here at Tynecastle. Dundee did pull one back through Curtis Main, but it's been ruled out, so it's the evening to forget for Dundee. So Celtic 5, Dundee 0, Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0, Livingston 1, Motherwell 0, and Aberdeen 0, St Johnstone 1 at Pittodrie, and it is 1-1 here in the capital. Alan Preston.
And I think if I'm Stephen Naismith, I'm delighted to get in 1-1. Hibs have been a better side. They've created the better chances, they've looked more dangerous. You know, Hearts haven't really created anything at all with any note. Kingsley's knocked one off the line. But the chance for Boyle running clean through, they've obviously scored a fine goal. Brilliant save there from Xander Clark. Hibs should be ahead, and I'm sure that Nick Montgomery will be gutted to be going in level if that's the case.
Matt Marshall's not the safety make, is he?
Nothing.
The only shot on target is the penalty.
I tell you, Lawrence Shankland dealing with that kind of pressure in front of the Hibs fans, with things being lobbed at him and all the weight that he had as well. He had the ball in his hand for a good few minutes before the referee awarded the spot kick. I mean, he's dealt with that like he's dealt with everything recently.
See, when he comes over to the monitor, when Kevin Clancy comes over to the monitor, Shankland's standing in the middle of the pitch, actually just keeping the ball up with his fist. It doesn't look as if he's under any pressure whatsoever. It looks as if he's in the school playground playing with his friends, waiting the decision being made. As soon as it's made, he's so calm, puts the ball in the penalty spots, and then God knows what's been thrown at him, whether it be coins, lighters, paper, whatever it could be, anything that's coming out of that stand. But he composed himself, and by the way, he picked his spot and put it in the top corner.
That means now only 2 players in this fixture this century have scored more goals than Lawrence Shankland this fixture. Paul Hartley and Derek Riordan. Hartley got 8, Riordan 7. Celtic have gone 6-0 up against Dundee before half-time. That's astonishing. That is absolutely astonishing. I mean, there's got to be a new record in the offing there tonight.
Yeah, it could be.
It's a chance here for Hearts as we play on. We're well past the 4 minutes that were initially added. We played 7.5.
Has Shankland scored 19 goals of Hearts' 36 league goals this season?
Yeah.
Wow, what a start that is.
Incredible, yeah. He's rewriting his own history.
Somewhere in Inverness there's a wee man.
Yes, indeed. I think was it 32 was Robbo's best, was it?
Honestly, he'll be sitting behind the settee saying, what is he doing?
He says he's not bothered.
Right, you know him and I know him and John knows him. He will be bothered, all right.
Yeah, well, that as Hibs get a free kick inside their own box, that season he got the 32. He says he should have scored more, but he left for Newcastle with 7 games still to play of that campaign. As the half-time whistle does go here at Tynecastle, it's 1 apiece, and really dramatic stuff, as we thought it might be. Hibs leading through Marcondes, the better of it in the early exchanges. Hearts took a while to settle. It was beyond 20 minutes before they did, but in 28, Marcondes blasting home after Boyle's effort was cleared off the line by Atkinson. And then the drama as we entered stoppage time. Hearts have ordered a penalty by Kevin Clancy for a challenge by Will Fish. In fact, might well have been the Fish and Vargas one that, as Brian was telling us, they looked at and awarded the penalty for. John Rankin didn't feel it was a spot kick. The referee came over, had a look at it and stuck with the decision. The penalty was taken by Shanklin, duly dispatched. Having missed 3 in a row from the spot, he seems to have shaken the cobwebs off in that regard recently. But then just as we approach the half-time whistle, 2 chances for Hibs. Marcondes on the half volley, brilliantly saved by Xander Clark, and then Dylan Vented one off the line by Stephen Kingsley. Plenty more to come from this third Edinburgh derby of the season, you suspect, in the second half. At half-time here in our rainy capital, it is Heart of Midlothian 1, Hibernian 1.
The Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Tom English is alongside me in the studio. We gave this one the big build-up, Tom. We're about to go to Rugby Park. My goodness, Liam used the word drama there. Right across all the games tonight. So much to talk about.
Well, I can't remember a kind of an evening of fixtures or an afternoon of fixtures where so much stuff was happening.
Yeah.
In nearly every one of the games. Celtic utterly rampant. 6 going on 7, going on 8-0 at half-time. Unbelievable performance from them. Kilmarnock doing what Kilmarnock do. Incredible. Hearts lucky to be back in it at Tynecastle. Never a penalty for them. And St Johnstone making Neil Warnock look silly again.
Yeah, we'll get all the reaction. We'll get half-time reports. Let's start at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock against Rangers there for us. Lee McCulloch and Alistair Lamont.
Yeah, Kenny, at half-time, it has been a dramatic first half, and there was early drama here after a couple of missed chances by Rangers. Silva having a shot deflected wide, and then a Goldson powerful header, well saved by Will Dennis. Liam Donnelly threatened at the other end with a header that was just wide before a penalty was awarded, and it was penalty to Kilmarnock as Danny Armstrong tried to cross the ball into the box. Out came John Lundstrom to try and block it, but he had his arms raised, and David Dickinson pointed straight to the spot. It was verified by VAR, and up stepped Danny Armstrong with the penalty. Straight down the middle it went. Jack Butland dived to his right, and it was 1-0 Kilmarnock. Rangers responded with a Oscar Cortez effort from about 30 yards. It was well tipped wide by Dennis, but beyond that they haven't really troubled Kelly, who have been superbly organised, working ever so hard to ensure they stayed in front. In fact, they might have been further ahead as Liam Polworth almost latched onto a poor Mohamed Diamonde back pass. It looked to me like Diamonde slightly impeded him as he tried to make the break through and get on the end of it. Butland was quickly out of his goal to get the clearance, and if there was any check by VAR, it was quickly done and there was no further action. But it is Kilmarnock, Lee, who hold the first half advantage. Yes, it's been pretty even, but you couldn't argue, Kilmarnock have been good value for that advantage.
No, I don't think you can argue with that. I think Rangers have probably edged the possession stats, but that means nothing, let's be honest. I think it's been a very even game regarding chances. I think the penalty is a definite penalty, although I've not seen it back, but it was clear as day as you've seen it in real time. I think Derek will be the happier of the managers, obviously. I just think Kilmarnock, when they get the ball wide, they always deliver across, and when you've got the 2 strikers in the box with the presence they've got, they're going to cause any team's problems. So we mentioned it at the start of the game, can the Rangers fullbacks, can Barisic and Tavernier get out to the wide players, Armstrong and Kennedy, and help stop the crosses at source? It's hard for them, but they've got to do it if they want to help their centre halves. I think Rangers have had chances, with a header for Goldson, the corner kick. Silva deflected shot just past the post. Goldson maybe with another header, but Kilmarnock have had chances as well, and I think that the biggest chance of the game is Liam Donnelly's header for the corner, where it's just shaved the side of the post where no Rangers player was near him. He got a free run at it, he got great contact on it, he just couldn't get enough direction to put it in the back of the net. So I think it's been a really entertaining game. And I wouldn't be surprised if I see changes in the Rangers team with a couple of subs.
Yeah, Ridvan Yilmaz is already stripped, and Cyril Dessers was out doing a pretty vigorous warm-up as well, so changes afoot at Rugby Park. But at half-time, it's Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0.
Very good again from Kilmarnock. A big half-time team talk coming up for Philippe Clement. They have been very poor in that first half, in complete contrast. Title rival Celtic, absolutely rampant against Dundee at Celtic Park. Let's hear from Charlie Mulgrew and Andy Barge.
Yeah, Kenny, Tony Docherty said in the build-up to this one that his team would need to play their best to give themselves even a fighting chance, and Brendan Rodgers said he wanted his team to be ruthless. Well, I think only one of them is reflected with the half-time score of Celtic 6, Dundee 0. If Brendan Rodgers has tried to create a siege mentality, then the cavalry are in full flow at Celtic Park this evening, and they didn't really waste any time in getting underway. Carter Vickers and Adam Ida had them 2-0 up in the blink of an eye, a couple of headers, and then Matt O'Reilly added a third on the 20-minute mark as well. Really nice diving header back across goal. The game was done and dusted at that point. Indeed, actually started quite brightly before Celtic got their first of the evening, but after that it was just one-way traffic, wave after wave of attack, and Dyson Ryder scored what's been the pick of the bunch. He picked the ball up on the right-hand side of the box, little Cruyff turn and curled it into the far right corner of the net. Greg Taylor added a fifth. Callum McGregor scored a sixth right on the stroke of half-time. They are cutting Dundee apart at half-time. Charlie, it's just been an incredible performance from Celtic.
Yeah, as you said, absolutely ruthless. I don't remember them missing a chance. They just seem to be firing balls in the box. They're holding their wood between Alistair Johnston and Yang and Maeda and Taylor. Balls are getting in the box, and the most pleasing thing for the manager and the team will be there's bodies in the box. There's 3, 4, 5 bodies in the box. It's causing Dundee all sorts of problems, even though they have 3 centre backs in there and a back 5 in there trying to stop, defend deep. They're getting nowhere near the balls coming in the box, and Celtic have took every single chance. Absolutely ruthless. What a performance. Fast, quick play. They're inside Dundee's half for the majority of the half, inside their final third. Joe Hart at one point was in between the 2 centre halves on the halfway line, collecting a pass to play, while the Dundee 2 strikers were 30-40 yards for the goal. So absolute dominance. There's no way you can press Celtic when you're that deep. So credit to Celtic. Dundee looked a wee bit threatening at the very start of the game. They had 2 corners early. As soon as Celtic got control of the game and started putting balls in the box, they've been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, one win for Dundee against Celtic since 1988. That run's going to continue, Kenny. Celtic absolutely rampant.
Yeah, just Charlie, to put some context on this, the record scoreline in the Premiership, Celtic 9, Dundee United 0. Yeah. That was 4-0 at half-time. This could be anything tonight. I know you talk about taking their chances, Charlie. What has been the difference in this Celtic performance?
To be fair, they've played really, really quick, like the second half against Motherwell. They're playing closer together as a team. They've got 5 in there when the 2 fullbacks come into midfield. They've got the 3 midfielders, Celtic's 2 fullbacks against 3 Dundee's midfielders. They've got 5 at the back playing flat and deep, and Celtic are just getting balls, controlling the mid of the pitch, getting the balls wide and getting them in the box. The difference is they've been really quick and they've been really clinical. In past games at home, they've maybe not took their chances early. They've allowed teams to gain a bit of confidence. Dundee are getting in 5-0. I mean, I don't know what they do in the second half. They need to start getting up the pitch and pressing higher, and that needs to come for the front too. But you can't sink back 40 yards for your goal and start pressing. You need to get up to the halfway line and press for there and press their team, because if they don't, as you say, it could end up double figures if they don't get a grip of this.
Yeah, tough night ahead. So we'll get the half-time reports from the two other games in the top flight this evening, but again we give you the commentary options. The Edinburgh Derby is available on BBC Sounds 92 to 95 FM and online. You will find Kilmarnock against Rangers on Radio Scotland Extra 810 medium wave and online, and there's online only commentary of Celtic against Dundee. An absolute rout for the home side there. We'll have regular updates from Aberdeen against St Johnstone, Livingston against Motherwell. The latter kicked off at 8 o'clock.
The Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Right, let's then back to Rugby Park, where Kilmarnock and Rangers have just resumed. Just 40 seconds into this second period, Lewis Mayo's gone down and won his side. Actually, it's Joe Wright who's gone down and won his side a free kick for Oscar Cortez's challenge on him, and it'll be a free kick to the home side, which is taken quickly actually down the right channel. Vassell into the middle, big chance for Kelly, great save! Jack Butland so close to a Kilmarnock second, brilliant quick free kick. Vassell across the box, I think it was Watkins who met it, scooped it towards goal, and somehow Butland got down to his right to push it away. Otherwise, Kilmarnock were two to the goods and still might be. Here's Vassell just inside the box, looking to get turned, blocked by Suter, comes back to Polworth just outside the box. Lightning start to the second half there from Kilmarnock. Really good quick thinking with a free kick, and denied by a wonderful Jack Butland save. And Rangers need to wake up. Here they come on the counter. It's Dessers, one of the half-time substitutes, tries to let it run, comes instead to Lundstrom, back with Cortez. Cortez thought about the shot, plays it sideways instead to Diamondi, about 35 yards from goal. Yilmaz is the other sub, he plays it in, looking for Dessers, comes all the way through to McCausland, right hand side, back for Tavernier, takes the shot, claims by the Rangers fans more than anyone else that there was a handball, but there's an offside flag up against the Rangers player. It will be a Kilmarnock free kick. But Lee, let's go back to the Kilmarnock chance and the Butland save. Wow.
Well, what a start for Kilmarnock there. It was brilliant play. The ball just get fizzed across. Armstrong, I actually think he's made really good contact on the ball, but Butland down really quick, pushed it away. And then Rangers break up the other end, and they look as if they get across in the box. Dessel's going to get his head on the ball, but great defending by Stuart Finlay. It's just started so end to end. Hopefully this continues with entertainment.
Well, still 1-0 Kilmarnock. Just to clarify then, Ridvan Yilmaz and Cyril Dessers on for Barisic and Silva at half time, as Rangers look for a way to get back into the game. It's Kilmarnock though coming forward down the left hand side, and Suter just sticking out a leg, and he's knocked it behind for a Kilmarnock corner. And the home fans, well, they're simply loving what they're seeing at the moment. There was a great atmosphere at Rugby Park in the Steve Clarke era when he took them up to the higher echelons of the Premiership, and that is being rekindled, it feels like, under Derek McInnes just at the moment, taking them up from the Championship in his first season, survival last season, but this season they have just gone from strength to strength, and it's a joy to watch as far as the Killie fans are concerned right now, as they take a short corner. It's Polworth then swinging it in, Suter meets it well at the near post to head it clear. Dessers will give chase, but Mayo's there first. Armstrong miskicks that one and goes high in the air, but it's helped on by Donnelly. Suter again climbs and then knocked away by Goldson at the edge of his own penalty area. Rangers can't get a grip of the game at all. Kilmarnock continue to make them work hard for anything they get from it, and they've won a throw in this near side Killie with 4 minutes of the second half played. Killie 1, Rangers 0.
I think fair play to Derek McInnes. He could have into half time and says, right, let's sit, we'll soak up the pressure and hope to come back in at 1-0, but they've been out looking for that second goal and they very nearly got it.
They certainly did. That Butland save though is well worth a watch on Sportscene this evening, and yet another one to add to his repertoire. 10:40 on BBC One Scotland for all tonight's highlights, and there sound like there's plenty of them judging by what's been going on at the other games as well. Kilmarnock have got a throw in here down near the corner flag right hand side, and Danny Armstrong, among many of the things in his armoury, is a long throw in, and here comes one into the near post, a flat one, tried to flick it on there, Stuart Finlay at the near post, but Rangers managed to block it and then knock it clear up to the halfway line, and Daba
forward. Tavernier gets the header clear. Donnelly tries to head it out to the left hand side for Vassell. Tavernier got a touch on it and then tries to steer it back the way Goldson knocks it clear, but Kilmarnock have picked up possession once more, and it's Kennedy who's got a new lease of life here as well, out looking for his fellow winger Danny Armstrong, but it's straight out of play for a goal kick, and it remains with 50 on the clock. Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, you must say Kilmarnock, although there's only 5 minutes gone, have started the second half better. The front foot, they've got the ball forward, they've won the second ball that's been knocked down, they've got the ball wide, they've looked a threat and they nearly scored. I think with the changes, the changes to Rangers with Dessers and Yilmaz coming on, there's no shape change, formation change. It's just like for like. They've yet to get in the game at all to make a difference.
There's Diamonde just trying to nick that past Polworth, which he managed to do, but it's gone straight out of play, and it's going to be a Kilmarnock throw-in over on the far side. Left hand side as Kilmarnock come forward, and it'll be taken by Corian Daba. He got his first goal for the club, the opener against Aberdeen, who are finding life difficult against St Johnstone this evening. Here's Cortez for Rangers, inside his own half, but playing it forward, looking for Lundstrom, but never getting on the end of that, and it's played away by Mayo, who never made a senior appearance for Rangers, and had a spell here on loan at Rugby Park before the permanent deal in the summer. Kilmarnock there looking for a free kick, not forthcoming from the referee, and the fans weren't happy as Dessers has it on the left hand side for Rangers, just nudges it back to Lundstrom, and now it's out for Yilmaz. Yilmaz takes a touch. I think he might have been going for goal there. He just saw Will Dennis slightly off his line and tried to sneak it in at the near post, but he skewed it all wrong.
I'm not sure, Al. I think you've been very, very kind. I think you've been kind. I think he just tried to
just a terrible cross.
Wrap his foot round the ball, and to be fair, he's just on as a substitute. I think that's his first touch. He just tried to fizz it in there at that 6 yard box, and it's went straight and it's went right over the bar. I think there's going to be an early Rangers change here. I'm going for Sterling on for McCausland.
Yeah, I think you're probably, certainly Sterling is being called back, but I think McCausland would be the likeliest candidate, because he hasn't really offered all that much, and Sterling was impressive when he came on at McDermott Park in that role, and continued it at the weekend, maybe a bit less involved against Hearts, but looks like he's certainly been given the call. But it's Kilmarnock continuing to boss things right now as Vassell tries to come forward. Good physical battle there with Tavernier, but the Rangers captain gets the better of his Kilmarnock counterpart, and now Lundstrom plays it out to the left hand side for Cortez, but backtracking when Armstrong, and he's won it back, and now it's Wright coming forward, just nudges it to Polworth, back out to the right hand side for Armstrong. Lovely touch, boy, just couldn't keep it in with the second one, and it's a throw into Rangers, quickly taken by Cortez for Yilmaz. As it's played forward, Lawrence just manages to get the better of Mayo. Can he move across him? Yes, he can. It's Lawrence trying to line one up about 22 yards from goal. He was fouled as he shot there, and it's a yellow card for Lewis Mayo, and a free kick to Rangers in very much what you might call James Tavernier territory.
Yeah, I don't think there could be any complaints there. Mayo has been outstanding this season. He's just come out. He's come out for his slot, centre half slot, going short. He's been spun, and he's just trying to make a foul, and in the end he has made the foul, but it's in a very dangerous area, as you say. I know Barisic is off now. It's maybe his territory, or obviously James Tavernier.
Yeah, I mean, it is slightly right of centre, which would normally, you would think, favour the left-footed player, but Tavernier just takes them on from any angle, doesn't he? Yilmaz is there as well, and he can certainly hit a free kick, but you would have to imagine that the captain is going to pull rank here. I think he's pulled it back a bit from where the actual offence took place, and I'm not sure. I mean, I know that sometimes you talk about it being too close to the goal to get it up and over, and he's brought it back to, about 27 yards out maybe. It is Tavernier and Yilmaz over at right of centre. Kilmarnock with a big wall lined up. Can Tavernier get it over? It is Tavernier who goes for it. It's in! James Tavernier, as so often, is the man for Rangers. Will Dennis got something on it but couldn't keep it out with the goal, and Rangers are level. It's Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 1.
Well, what do you say? That the quality of that man is unreal. He's 20, 28, 30 yards out maybe. He's got it up and over the wall. Dennis, no chance at all, and it's gave Rangers a lifeline. 54 minutes, still a lot of time left to go and seek the winner, but don't rule out Kilmarnock either, the way they've started the half.
In the meantime, Dujon Sterling has come on for Ross McCausland as the Rangers fans find their voice, but well, Kilmarnock punished for just that one moment of slackness from Lewis Mayo, and James Tavernier steps up once again. It's a 20th goal of the season for the fullback, and yes, a number of those have come from the penalty spot, a lot of the others have come from set pieces, but nonetheless the technique is superb. I wonder just, will Dennis, having got at least a hand to the free kick, will he be disappointed that he hasn't managed to push that wide, Lee?
I actually think he's got a hand on the ball, but the ball's in over the line. I think it's just that Tavernier's whipped it over with pace. I don't think he can get there. I think he's dived back the way slightly, and that's how he didn't push it round the post, because it's already behind the line. I wouldn't blame Will Dennis for that. I think when you look back at the two goals, the penalty and the free kick, for me the two of them is clear fouls.
Yeah, Rangers have a free kick, having pulled themselves level. They'll be looking to try and turn this one around, but Kilmarnock will have other ideas. Of course, they have been very much competitive in this game as the rain and wind swirl and team down here at Rugby Park. Dreadful conditions, but it is a fabulous game that is being served up here, and who knows who will come out on top, as Goldson has it on the right hand side, and now it's Sterling, his first involvement since coming on for McCausland. He's certainly a willing runner, that's not in any doubt, as he closes down Ndaba, and it'll be a throw in to Kilmarnock down near their own corner flag with 57 minutes played. Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 1, and it would be a brave man to put any money on the final outcome at this stage, Lee.
Yeah, definitely. I think that even it's been so exciting, this game. I know there's the quality, apart from probably the free kick there, has not been elite level, but entertainment wise, end to end, chances created, competitiveness, I think it's been brilliant. It's been a really good game to watch so far, with still over half an hour left. As you say, anything could happen in this game.
Cortez has been penalised. He was trying to bundle his way through the Kilmarnock back line, and not sure what the offence was in the end, but it is a Kilmarnock free kick to be taken by Will Dennis, more or less from the spot that Tavernier beat him from just a few minutes ago. Again, it's another free kick worth catching on Sports Scene tonight at 10:40 on BBC One Scotland, and no doubt the action in the final half hour here will also be worth keeping an eye on. It's a Rangers throw, and quickly taken by Dessers, forward for Lawrence. It was his first real creative involvement that brought about that free kick that led to the goal. Here come Rangers again. It's Dessers, can't get past Ndaba, comes back for Lawrence, goal! Rangers have turned around, and Tom Lawrence celebrates with the Rangers fans who team over the advertising hoardings to celebrate with the players. Jubilation in the Rangers ranks as Kilmarnock find themselves behind. It is Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 2.
Yeah, it's brilliant play, firstly, from Tom Lawrence. He makes a great run, he drags the defender wide at Stuart Finlay, he gets the foul, he gets up right away and takes it quickly. Kilmarnock players are sleeping. I think there's a little 1-2 in there, but the ball, Dessers tries to get his shot away, it gets blocked, it falls to Lawrence, and what a composed finish into the far corner. I mean, what a half this has been so far. It's been so end to end, and in the space of maybe 10 minutes, the full game, the full perspective of the game, everything, momentum has just quickly changed. For Rangers' point of view, the next 5 minutes is so important. Kilmarnock will just keep plugging away.
Incredibly, it's a first goal of the season for Tom Lawrence, and my goodness, it could prove to be oh so important come the final shake-up, because Rangers are back on course for an 11th successive win
and to stay at the top of the table regardless of how emphatic Celtic's victory over Dundee turns out to be. But here come Kilmarnock once more. It's Watkins inside the penalty area. Lindstrom back there though, just to hack it clear, as Rangers now have something to hold on to. Well, you could say some inspired substitutions in there from Philippe Clement has helped lift his side, but it was a cool finish from Tom Lawrence. He got the break at the ball after Dessers couldn't find his way through, but it was the quick thinking from the free kick initially from Lawrence, as Armstrong now sweeps it in from the right hand side. Up goes Finlay at the back post, up to help his forward players, but he can't get the header on target. And so after an hour at Rugby Park, it's Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the game unfolds now. As I say, in the next maybe 5 minutes, do Kilmarnock panic and go all out for that goal, then get picked off, or do Rangers just sit for the next 5 minutes, soak up a bit of pressure and try and hit them in the counter attack? It'll be interesting to see, but one thing I know for sure, there'll be chances in the game.
Yilmaz dispossessing Armstrong. He was looking for a free kick, it was never a free kick, and he picks himself up. Kilmarnock have brought possession back. It's Donnelly, he was fouled, and it will be a Kilmarnock free kick, and it is getting quite tousy down there. Both sides desperate for the 3 points, and ultra competitive out there, and it will be a Kelly free kick.
You just seen Clement coming out there and shout to John Souttar, get the line up. That's what I'm talking. I've just went 2-1 up, that line starts to drop, but he's realised it. He's telling them, make sure you get that line up. It's a higher line needed to connect to midfield, to then connect to strikers.
No further goals elsewhere in the second half. Incidentally, I did tell you about a Dundee goal late in that first period, which was ultimately chopped off. Curtis Main being denied even a consolation there, as Celtic then subsequently went 6-0 up. It's quite an incredible scoreline at half time. We'll keep you up to date with any other goals that go in around the country. That free kick for Kilmarnock came to nothing, and it's behind for a Rangers goal kick. But this game is certainly not done and dusted. It's almost half an hour to play. There will be at least half an hour including stoppage time, and Kilmarnock will still have a big say in the game as Dessers tries to lay it into the path of Cortez, but didn't quite manage it, and Armstrong brings his side up the park. Down the right they come, throw in taken to Vassell inside the penalty. He just lifts it onto the penalty spot more or less. Challenging in there was Watkins, but knocked away, and Sterling can go and challenge over there with Polworth, who tries to turn it down the line, but he succeeded only in knocking it out of play. And Sterling, he's one of these guys who needs yet to find cement an actual place in the team as such, Lee, but he's so useful because he can play different positions and he gives it his absolute all, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's so underrated. You've got to remember, looking back at the Aberdeen Cup final, where Rangers played Aberdeen in the Cup final, he played centre midfield. He came on St Johnstone last week, he played right wing. He can play full back. I think he's one of the players that you need in your squad, but what he is a supreme athlete. He's got pace to burn, and just that he's setting the tone with the press here, with the desire to go and win the ball back. And if you're in the team and you've got one of them in your team and they go after it, you need to go after it after him. So he's setting the tone for the full Rangers team to go and win the ball back, and it's great to see.
Yilmaz down the line, but Lawrence hadn't read the intention, and he'd made the run forward, and Kilmarnock able to pick it off and pick up possession through Polworth now in the middle of the park. Armstrong wants out right hand side, but Polworth tried to go more central and he couldn't feed Watkins, and Rangers try and break, but Sterling is fast, as Lee says, but he's not fast enough to catch that one, and Dennis out to the edge of his box to pick it up and then immediately feed Ndaba. It's Harum Scarum stuff at the moment, end to end, as both sides look for the next goal, which would be really crucial one way or the other.
I think that's where the game, Al, has been scrappy at times. That's what I was saying. There's been no real elite quality in the game. I think it's been really scrappy, but that's where the chances have came from. Both teams have went pretty direct, playing off second balls. It just, the getting the ball wide, getting balls in the box is entertaining to watch, especially for the neutral. It's a great game for the neutral to watch.
Goldson fires it forward. He was looking for options left and right. Eventually he was looking for Sterling, but it's won by Kilmarnock, and Daba feeds it forward up to
Watkins. I wonder how long before we see some Kilmarnock changes, like Kevin Van Veen and the former Ranger Greg Stewart available now to Derek McInnes, but they've got some defending to do as Tavernier comes forward. Right hand side, big deflection, takes it behind for a corner. That could have gone anywhere. It's spun off Ndaba, I think, and Dennis would have been beaten had that gone on target, but it's screwed behind for the corner. 25 to play here. Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 2, and Rangers with a corner kick from the right hand side. Tavernier goes out to take, and Rangers throwing pretty much everyone forward actually. Kilmarnock not leaving anyone up the field, so Rangers just put everyone barring Jack Butland up into the attacking areas. Tavernier stands over the corner kick from the right hand side. In it comes, near post ball. Dessers is there. Oh, it's off the crossbar. What effort that was from a tight angle. And Dennis was beaten, and the frame of the goal denies the Nigerian international as Cortez now feeds Yilmaz. Left hand side, can he catch it? Not quite. It's behind for a goal kick. And Lawrence has gone down here, and he's done, I think he's signalling to the bench that he's probably finished here. The man who scored what could be the crucial goal in the game at this stage, and he is going to need the medics on at the very least, as Philippe Clement might have to turn to his bench.
I think we'll probably see Raskin here come on if he needs to come off it. Come back to that corner. Tavernier, unbelievable delivery again. Dessers makes that front post run right across the run of the man in the front post area. He gets good contact on it. It's just hit the bar. Dennis, no chance again. It's just hit the bar and come back out the other end. A real chance for him. Dessers always gets himself in the end of chances. Sometimes he takes them, sometimes he doesn't, but that's what I like about him. He keeps on getting on the end of them.
I think we're going to see Scott Wright actually in place of Tom Lawrence. I didn't really see what happened to Lawrence, but in some ways I was quite surprised that he played on this surface. He actually seems to be pointing to his eyes as if, I don't know if he wears contact lenses or something, or if he's taken a blow to the head, but I think he is going to be replaced here. Philippe Clement was just saying to Scott Wright, just hold on a wee minute, I want to get Tom Lawrence back on if I can, and he's indicating that he's okay to go back on. So Scott Wright, his entrance will be delayed as Kilmarnock try and come forward. Goldson up to win the header before Watkins can make anything of it. Now it's Kennedy though out to the left hand side for Ndaba, and Lawrence back on the field of play, having got the Rangers second to put them in front a few minutes ago. Back with Will Dennis, who was beaten there by Cyril Dessers, but who was unfortunate to see it come back off the bar. What a terrific effort it was. It would have put Rangers 3-1 up as Diamondi now finds Dessers. Dessers into the feet looking for Lawrence, just fractionally behind him, and Donnelly then picks up, slides in, good ball winning against Lundstrom. Here come Kilmarnock. Left hand side now is Kennedy dancing away from one challenge, slides it forward now for Watkins just inside the penalty area. Goldson with him, trying to hold him up. Watkins has to go back the way to Polworth, 35 yards from goal, out to the left to Ndaba. Out goes Tavernier to meet him. Rain still pouring down in Ayrshire as Ndaba almost presents it back to Tavernier, but instead he plays it to Polworth, who just tries the ball into the penalty area, but it's well defended by Rangers, and it's up the park now onto the halfway line. Cortez trying to make something of it, but Joe Wright's got the better of him now. He leaves it to Armstrong, who motors away from Yilmaz. Cortez has gone down with an injury. That looked like a handball from Kennedy, who gets the shot off, and is well saved by Jack Butland. I'm not sure if that would have stood, because I'm pretty sure it was a handball. Cortez has gone down off the ball, and now he needs attention, and with about a quarter of the game remaining, it's still Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 2.
I think the difference here from Tom Lawrence and Cortez going down with nobody around about them, Cortez was feeling his hamstring there. If that's gone, that could be a lengthy layout. I'll probably be Scott Wright now that'll come on, although the Rangers bench are just conferring who it would be. I think the obvious one would be Scott Wright, because he's a wide player that's got pace, similar to Cortez. But going back to the chance, Kennedy's cut inside. I think you're right, Al. I think it was a handball, but he's done ever so well to get the shot on target, but it was a comfortable save for Butland in the end.
Yeah, Raskin's been called back now to the technical area, and Philippe Clement was actually going off his head, telling him to get a move on, because he wasn't showing enough urgency to get stripped and ready to get on. Philippe Clement's now having another word with him just to tell him what's required, and Scott Wright is also has he been readied again, or is he getting the jacket back on? I think he's taking it off, so it might be a double change. Well, the good news for Cortez and Rangers is that he's walking off the field of play, but he's feeling the hamstring, I think, Lee, and that could be a few weeks. Just a couple of goals to tell you about before you come in. Celtic have got a 7th, and it's young Daniel Kelly who's got that one, and Nicholson has equalised for Motherwell against Livingston. It's 1-1 there, and 7-0 Celtic at Celtic Park. 2-1 Rangers here at Rugby Park, and this is the thoughts of Lee McCulloch, former Killie and Rangers man.
Yeah, I just think with Cortez going off, he's limping, it doesn't look good. It's a hamstring, it's a muscle injury. I think that could be a good couple of weeks, especially from a Rangers perspective with the importance of the games that they've got coming up. They've got the European game, the Old Firm games, 3-4 weeks away. They'll be desperate to get him back for their games. I can't see him playing the Benfica matches.
No, I don't think he's in the European squad. Sorry, he was one of the ones that had to be. They didn't have enough slots that they could put everyone in, so I think he was actually left out. But nonetheless, of course, particularly the absence of Sima and Matondo at the moment as well. If you lose another left winger, then that's pretty poor fortune as Scott Wright gets himself involved, having come on for Cortez, and Raskin is just getting the high-vis vest back on, but he is down to his strip as well, so you would imagine he'll come on for Lawrence at some stage. It's 20 minutes to go. It's Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 2. Kilmarnock by no means out of this contest as Vassell wins the header, but Watkins can't quite latch onto it. Here comes Wright trying to link with Dessers. Wright will continue giving chase, but it's nodded back to his goalkeeper by Lewis Mayo, who was at fault, you'd have to say, for the Rangers equaliser, bringing down Tom Lawrence, just getting caught wrong side, and Tavernier did the rest, and then Lawrence put Rangers in front. So that's how it stands, 2-1. Kilmarnock having had the advantage at half time through Danny Armstrong's penalty, and looking to get back level themselves now with Mayo playing it forward, but it's brought down in the chest of Yilmaz, who does look more assured at left back, I have to say, than Barisic did in that first half against Armstrong. Forward for Dessers, and back now to Sterling. Sterling right hand side, Dessers once more on the right hand side of the penalty area. Looks back to Sterling on the angle of the box, and then Lawrence plays it further back to Lundstrom. Scott Wright about 25 yards from goal, central area. Now Sterling tries to get the shot away, but it's blocked by Ndaba. Vassell just trying to use his strength to hold off Lundstrom, which he does to good effect, and then Lundstrom has to resort to pushing him in the back, and Kilmarnock win a free kick about 30 yards inside their own half, and a chance to move up the park with 27 minutes of this second half played. And Kilmarnock at last are going to make some changes themselves, or at least one. It's Greg Stewart, who I can see is definitely stripped, and looks like Van Veen's getting a last energy drink as well before entering the fray. So good changes that they can make, Lee. I mean, as we were talking about earlier on, really shows the strength of the squad that Derek McInnes has been able to put together now.
It shows the strength of the bench, and they're obviously needing a goal, and there's probably no better two to come on. Van Veen, proven goal scorer. Greg Stewart played at the highest level, bundles the ability, and he's got the experience in these games. So I think it's two great subs for Derek McInnes to bring on. I think there'll still be chances in the match. I don't think the match is finished, even though Rangers are winning 2-1. I think a lot of people will say that's saying winning 2-1, that's it, it's done. I don't see it. Kilmarnock are fighters, and they keep on creating chances.
No one who's watching this game would say that, would they? Because it's quite clear it's not finished. Raskin has been readied as well as Van Veen and Stewart prepare to come on for the home side. Here's Dujon Sterling nudging it back to Lawrence at the edge of the box, just finds room, tries to weave his way past another challenge, just overdid it in the end. Tom Lawrence might have been better taking the shot on from a bit further out. Rangers have won it back, and Wright and Lawrence can't make anything of it there, and now Vassell looking to hold off Suter, but Yilmaz steps in the aid of his centre back and finds Sterling, who's out on the left hand side at the moment. Yilmaz in support, almost at the goal line, plays it across goal, but it's a good take by Dennis, low at his near post, and immediately he bowls it out as Kilmarnock look to try and counter. It's Polworth coming forward up to the halfway line. It's been a really, really intriguing game throughout. It's gone to and fro, and now it's Kilmarnock who must try and come from behind to take something from the contest. Armstrong's wriggled away from Yilmaz momentarily. Back comes Lawrence to help. He's done well though to play infield to Donnelly, and now to Watkins, just inside the box, gets the shot away, just drags wide of the far post. Butland went down, think he had it covered, and it was always just swerving away as off comes Tom Lawrence and on comes Nico Raskin, and that does feel a little bit like Philippe Clement's just trying to shut that midfield down and make it a bit more sturdy in there, just bringing Raskin on, who's not as much of a forward thinking player as Lawrence.
No, he's not. I don't think he's got the quality in the final third that Lawrence has got, but what he has got is bundles of energy. He likes a tackle, he can receive the ball, he can keep the ball. He keeps the ball usually simple but very effective, especially in the early days of his Rangers career. He's had a couple of injuries. He's just trying to get the game time up, to get the momentum up, but now you see Kilmarnock making the changes with Van Veen and Stewart coming on for the front two. I think they'll go on just a straight swap for the front two, bringing freshness at the top of the pitch. Is the ideal scenario for Derek McInnes.
Yeah, well, what would even be even more ideal is if they could get a goal or two between them and earn his side at least a point from this contest. So it is the changes up front for Kilmarnock: Greg Stewart and Kevin Van Veen, two January signings who have come on in place of Vassell and Watkins, who led the line really well. Good work there from Scott Wright to find Dessers left hand side. Can he pick out a teammate? Comes off a Kilmarnock heel there and almost falls kindly for Rangers, but they managed to just work it clear, Kilmarnock, and then Armstrong helps up towards the halfway line. Van Veen looking to make a nuisance of himself, challenged by Suter. Rangers have it back. Wright wins it in the air, left by Van Veen for Armstrong. Van Veen then goes down under the challenge of Raskin. Armstrong battling away. The referee content to allow play to continue as a couple of players go down. Here's Van Veen, good work from him to get away from Raskin. Feeds it forward down the right for Armstrong, almost at the goal line now, up against Yilmaz. Into the penalty area he comes. Can he get it across the box? Good header away at the near post there from Suter, commanding from the Rangers centre back as Kilmarnock look to try and draw level. 2-1 they trail with about 13 and a half minutes of the 90 left. Still it's Kilmarnock coming forward, and it's Danny Armstrong. You feel that he's still very capable of creating something. It's Stewart into the penalty area, high up in the air from Tavernier, and out of the box it comes. It'll fall nicely for Diamonde, and then there's a head knock there for one of the Rangers players who just felt someone in the back of their head. It's Scott Wright who's gone down, and it'll be Rangers possession, because they did have control of the ball when the referee stopped play there. What do you suggest Kilmarnock do? What's their best chance of getting something from this game, Lee?
I think Kilmarnock, when they play, their wide players are on it, and they always get crosses in the box. And when you look at who they've just brought on, Kevin Van Veen, proven goal scorer, loves crosses coming in the box. I think he'll be a real handful for the two Rangers centre halves. And then you've got Greg Stewart, who'll just pick up pockets of space, look to get it in the half turn, get shots away or slip passes through, or as he done just a couple of minutes ago, just put a great ball in the box. I think that there's a real threat at the top end of the pitch for Kilmarnock.
Here is Greg Stewart, midway inside the Rangers half, tries to thread it through for Kennedy, but it was well read by Tavernier, who just hoists it up the field for Dessers to chase. Finley's with him, Dessers has it right hand side, almost runs into Sterling, gets it back to Raskin, and now it is Sterling. Rangers players, Dessers and Raskin, had to check the run, but it's Raskin, and now for Diamonde inside the penalty, tries to curl one, he's not too far away, I don't think, aiming for the far post on the left foot as he came in from the right hand side just to try and curl it inside that far post, but it goes wide. And with 33 minutes played in this second period, it's still Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 2.
There's good passing play there from Rangers. Raskin's just made the run in behind Dessers, he's got it, he's turned, Diamandi's up to support, he's laid it back to him. Diamandi's took a great touch, opened up his body and went for that far corner. That couldn't have been far away.
Van Veen gets the flick on, but Goldson just guides it back to his goalkeeper Jack Butland, who did come up with an absolute brilliant save at the start of this second half to avoid his side, prevent his side going 2 goals down, and the game could have been very different had he not been able to make that stop. But as he has on so many occasions since coming to Ibrox, he came up with the goods as Diamonde, it's a poor header from him, it's gone back the way, and Van Veen now up against Suter, left hand side of the box, finds Stewart inside the penalty area, left hand side, just has to check back, he's got support in Polworth, instead he tries to find Donnelly. Is that another penalty kick? It must be a big shout for one. David Dickinson's moved away and play continues, but VAR's got to look at that. It looked a very clumsy challenge on Donnelly inside the box, and Kilmarnock could yet have a second penalty. Play continues for the moment over on the left hand side. Kennedy into the feet of Greg Stewart. Andrew Dallas-Ivar will be having a very close look at that challenge as Kennedy then goes down in the angle of the box, and that will be a free kick to Kilmarnock, but they want more. They want a penalty. Should they have had it, Lee McCulloch?
Looking back on it, just seen it for real time, for me, no. I think VAR will have a look at it. Obviously if there's contact, it's going to be a penalty. I just felt Donnelly went down a little bit too dramatic for me. That's why I'm going to say it's a no from me. But obviously VAR's checking it. It might have already been checked. If there's contact, it's a penalty, but for me the way he went down would suggest there was no contact.
Yeah, I'm not
so
sure,
no penalty.
Not sure who the Rangers player involved was,
No,
but it looked clumsy to me, the way they went in at the back of Donnelly. Anyway, play is continuing, so the free kick is taken into the box, so it's no penalty, and the free kick comes to nothing all the way across the box. St Johnstone have got a second goal at Pittodrie. It's 2-0 they lead. Kempokia is, I'm not sure actually that's how you pronounce it, but he has got the second goal regardless of that, and Kilmarnock still looking for a second goal themselves to draw level as they prepare to make at least a couple of changes here, having already made two just a few moments ago. Rangers surviving a big penalty call there at first glance at least, but now they come looking for a third goal, and Sterling goes down at the edge of the box, taken out of play by Finlay, who'll go into the referee's notebook, and Rangers will have a free kick. It's well over to the right hand side of the box, just outside it though, and it's an opportunity, if not with a direct shot goal, at least to try and create something and get this third goal, which you would imagine with 9 minutes to go, Lee, would be enough to secure the 3 points for Rangers.
Yeah, it's just in that the right hand side of the box. I can't see Yilmaz taking it, especially James Tavernier's already got one. He's got to fancy this, even although it's not his side. I still think I'd be very surprised if he doesn't take it on. But getting back to the game, it is so end to end. They're just breaking. Both teams are just breaking. It's as if they're not setting up at the back. It's just let's go and score. Then the other team goes a little bit like a basketball game. But there's no complaints about that yellow card. Sterling's ran through Finlay's, completely take him out. Contact was apparent and clear. So that yellow card, I don't think there's any problems.
Will it be Yilmaz then, or will it be Tavernier? A yard or so outside the box. Tavernier goes for it, and he almost squeezed it in at the near post, but it's gone just wide. And it will be a goal kick as Kilmarnock are about to make a triple change here. Watson, Balagizi and McKenzie coming on. Armstrong, the first player to depart. Liam Donnelly also comes across. Both of them have played a huge part, Armstrong particularly, and Rangers will be pretty glad to see the back of him. And also coming off is Liam Polworth. The three of those players who are going off all played a big role in Kilmarnock's quest for a point or three here this afternoon or this evening, but they make way for some fresh legs, and it was David Watson, of course, who got the late equaliser at Celtic Park. Can he also get something here against Rangers to deny the league leaders all 3 points? Desser's giving chase to a back pass, but out comes Will Dennis, who just thumps it forward. Tavernier gets his head to Balagizi with his first touch closed down by Lundstrom. Came off Balagizi last and out for a throw into Rangers. And I had a feeling, Lee, that if Rangers came through this one with the 3 points, that you could really begin. I mean, obviously some people have already begun to believe that they could go on and win the title, but I think this is a massive test, and if they come through it, you really have to fancy their chances.
I think so, with the way they're playing and the togethership and resilience they're showing within games. They have a goal down today, still a long way to go. They've not won the game yet, but even go back before Saturday, before the Hearts game, you're saying if they get through the next two games, then all in my opinion, all they've done is give themselves a better chance to go and win the league. It's got to be game at a time, and I know fans will look well beyond that and look at the points that should come, but it doesn't always work like that in a title race. You need to just game at a time, like the manager says, like Philippe Clement says. It's just game at a time, focus on themselves, what they can get better at, how they win the next game, what's the tactics for the next game, and the focus and the mindset. So I can still see chances in this match.
Yeah, well, 6 minutes to go, and as if things couldn't get any worse for Dundee at Celtic Park, they've gone down to 10 men with Finlay Robertson sent off in the closing stages. 7-0 it stands there to Celtic. 2-1 here to Rangers as Mackenzie goes down under Desser's challenge, and that'll be a free kick to the home side for the foul on Mackenzie. The time beginning to run out for Derek McInnes' side, to have been really competitive in this game, but at the moment trailed by 2-1. Rangers turning the game around in the second half with a Tavernier free kick and a Tom Lawrence strike from just inside the box. But here come Kelly. It's Balagizi looking to latch on to Van Veen's layoff. Out to Ndaba, left side, here's Kennedy now. Back to Ndaba, first time ball in to the edge of the 6-yard box. Up goes Joe Wright. It's a mismatch there against Yilmaz. Out comes Butland to clutch that, and it's going to be a Rangers free kick in any event for whatever Kevin Van Veen was up to in there. He just shakes the hand of Jack Butland, helps him to his feet. 5 minutes to go of the 90. Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 2.
Just Kilmarnock there doing what they do best, getting the ball wide, getting balls in the box. You've got Wright who's playing it right back in at the back post there, so all men are forward trying to get that goal. He's put a ball back across goal. Van Veen sniffing about there, but Butland comes out and claims. It's just end to end. I'm really enjoying this match tonight.
Yeah, and it's not over yet. Still a slender advantage enjoyed by the league leaders. Will they go home with all 3 points and remain at the top of the table by a couple of points, albeit Celtic have made a major impact in the goal difference front this evening. Scott Wright chasing one down here as it's turned back to his goalkeeper by Joe Wright. 4 to play plus stoppage time. Raskin gets there ahead of Watson in the middle of the park, played forward by Lundstrom. Joe Wright just tries to knock it down the right hand side, out of play for a Rangers throw in, and Rangers will not be in any hurry to take throw-ins and so on in these next few minutes as they try and see this one out and ensure they get all 3 points that they've had to work ever so hard to be in a position to get. Dessers tries to flick it on, it somehow gets through to Sterling. Ndaba though steps in and dispossesses him. Kilmarnock managed to get it up towards Balagizi. He's closely marshalled by Lundstrom. The on-loan Liverpool player though gets it out to the left hand side for Kennedy, who's up against Tavernier, who drew Rangers level with his 20th goal of the season. And now it's Mayo midway inside his own half, out to the right as Kilmarnock try and come forward. It's Greg Stewart going back. There was a heavy touch there from Finlay. Dessers could be in here. Dessers trying to get away from Finlay. Clean for handball as Finlay got back to dispossess him again, but why on earth Dessers didn't just take the shot on rather than trying to beat Stuart Finlay once again. And play continues down the right hand side as Kilmarnock come forward. That was a chance as Kilmarnock were just a little bit sloppy there, but Dessers didn't make the most of it, and there's going to be a yellow card here for David Watson for his challenge there on Yilmaz. Motherwell have gone in front at Livingston. That's a huge blow for David Martindale's side, who were in front, but now they trail. Blair Spittle, who's been superb for Motherwell this season, has got another goal to put them in front after Nicholson's equaliser. Clearly nothing has come of that handball claim for Rangers, because the throw-in is going to be taken, and again Rangers wasting time here. Derek McInnes now upset at that with a couple of minutes left of the 90. Derek McInnes throws his hands in the air, mirroring some of the supporters round about us who feel that Rangers are trying to run down the clock, but I imagine their own side would be doing exactly the same if they're in the same position. Another throw into Rangers, and again they will not be rushing to take it. Here's Derek McInnes handing a ball to Ridvan Yilmaz as he urges the Turks to get on with it. Right on the halfway line then, left hand side, down the line it goes, won by Joe Wright, on by Stewart. Raskin though returns it. Diamondi gets his head to it. Balagizi forward for Kilmarnock. Poor touch from Van Veen. There's been a couple of them since he came on. Diamondi has it. Was he fouled there by Van Veen? Looked like it, but missed by David Dickinson, or indeed he might just have thought it wasn't a foul, and it is out for a throw into Rangers, and he's just been asked to delay for a moment, Ridvan Yilmaz, and then told he can get on with it. Yilmaz down the line. We are just about to enter the final minute of the 90, and then we'll find out shortly how much additional time there is to be. Yilmaz down at the corner flag, left hand side, just trying to hold it in there. He's tried to turn away from Joe Wright, who's done well to win it back. Diamondi putting him under pressure though, and Rangers have it back inside the penalty, threads it into the box. Rangers can't get a touch on it. Watson comes away. Did it touch the arm there of Nico Raskin? It looked like it, but referee didn't spot it, and Rangers have it back, and it's Goldson to Tavernier and out off Matty Kennedy, far side. 30 seconds to play plus added on time, and this is very, very tense for all round Rugby Park. Just no matter your persuasion here, you are not leaving until you've seen the very last kick of the ball, as Rangers again delay the taking of the throw in over on the far side this time. Ndaba gets his head to it when Tavernier eventually takes it. Raskin nods it on, but Ndaba picks up once more, closed down there by Sterling, and knocks it out of play over on the far side, midway inside the Kelly half, left hand side, as fourth official David Munro is about to tell us that 6 minutes will be added on here at Rugby Park. 6 minutes for Kilmarnock to try and find a leveller. 6 minutes for Rangers to hold on to ensure they stay 2 points clear at the top of the table. Which will it be? It's Joe Wright in possession for Kelly, and he's giving it away down that right hand side. Yilmaz picks up and brings Rangers forward. Scott Wright demands it. That's where it goes, down the left. Scott Wright into the penalty area from the left. Can he pick out Dessers? It's beyond Tim, it's beyond Sterling. Raskin trying to make something of it up against Kennedy. He's done well, the Belgian, to win it. Now it's Tavernier, flicks out to the right hand side for Sterling. Sterling drives into the box and wins his side a corner, and this is exactly where Rangers want and need to be in these closing stages. 5 minutes of stoppage time left. It's Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 2.
I think Rangers, the game management there has been tremendous. You get Scott Wright picking the ball out wide, he's driving to get in the box. Right,
there's a check here for a handball. Must say, completely escaped my attention. I've no idea who that would be against. Well, certainly it would be against Kilmarnock, you would imagine, because they haven't been inside the Rangers box lately. So, but David Dickinson is asking for things to be delayed just for a moment while Andrew Dallas checks whatever the handball claim is. But I don't know, are you any wiser than me, Lee?
No, didn't see it. I didn't see any claim for it.
No, there didn't seem to be anything from any player particularly, but anyway, the delay continues, and that will mean that more than the 6 minutes will be added on. And will Rangers have a late penalty here to clinch the victory? They could do with a bit of a cushion, that's for sure, because the 1 goal advantage they have is going to make for a tense finish here as David Dickinson continues to get instruction, and I think he's just pointed to say no, carry on, it will be a corner, no penalty, as the PA announcer is letting us know in the background. So the corner is taken short and Rangers just trying to keep it in the corner. Kilmarnock trying to battle away and win it, and they managed to win possession in terms of having a throw in down at the corner flag, left hand side. They played a couple of minutes of added on time. Rangers lead by 2-1, but still there's time for Kilmarnock to get back, but it's a good leap there by Sterling, and now Dessers has it inside the penalty, trying to get away from Ndaba, but it's good defending from the left back, gets it clear as far as Lundstrom. He plays it forward again. Balagizi is challenged by Scott Wright, breaks though for Kilmarnock. It's Greg Stewart, can he find a ball forward? Looks to go out to the left hand side for Kennedy. Tavernier does just enough to stretch and get the head to it, and then just batters the ball forward and asks Cyril Dessers to go and chase down Stuart Finlay. He's through the back of him. It's a free kick for Kilmarnock, no doubt about that. And it'll be a free kick Kelly's way and another chance to get the ball forward.
It's so tense into Alex. It's going from end to end. Rangers are trying to keep it. If they fail to keep it, Kilmarnock are straight up the pitch. They look a threat. We're running out of time though.
3 minutes of added on time left to play as Kilmarnock knocked the free kick long through. Will Dennis Suter has been a real rock at the back for Rangers, and just generally recently I think he's been at the top of his game, and it must be very much in Steve Clarke's thinking when he's assembling his squad, certainly for the next friendlies that are upcoming in March, and then for the Euros when they come around in June. But that's for another time. Here's Stuart Finlay feeding it forward down the left. He's asking an awful lot there on Matty Kennedy. Conor Golson just trying to see it out of play. It wasn't going to roll comfortably out, so he just has to knock it out for a throw in over on the far side. almost 10,000 inside Rugby Park and have seen a really fascinating game. It might not have been one for the purists as such, but it's certainly been enthralling throughout and continues to be in these last couple of minutes of stoppage time. Long thrown into the Rangers box, good win by Connor Goldson there at his near post, helped back into the box though, away this time by Scott Wright from the edge of the box, out for a throw in over on the far side to be taken by young David Watson. Still Kilmarnock searching for the equaliser, 2-1 Rangers lead. There's another ball on the pitch will have to be dealt with before the throw-in can be taken. It'll be Watson from the left-hand side, in line with the 18-yard area. Everyone in the Kelly jersey more or less inside that box. In it comes again. It's another good header from Goldson. McKenzie tries to get it back out to Watson. He's got the better of Diamondi. In it comes. Scott Wright takes a touch though at the edge of the box and thumps it clear, and Cyril Dessers is on the chase here. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. It's out for a throw-in to Kilmarnock, and Connor Goldson is down inside the Rangers penalty area, and there's howls round about us from the Kilmarnock fans who feel he is milking it to try and run down the clock. And he has been asked to get to his feet there by David Dickens. I don't think he's going to get the...
I think Tavernier's running over to get him up as well.
We're inside the final minute of the 6 that were initially added on, but there will be more than that because there was at least a VAR delay, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get at least another couple of minutes to play. Rangers lead by 2-1. Kilmarnock have a throw-in over on the far side. This has been hard fought, as you expected it would be for Rangers. They've come from a goal down. Can they cling on as Will Dennis knocks it long? Suter meets it with a header. Up goes Stuart Findlay. Rascan then just hooks it over his head, out for a throw into Kilmarnock, right hand side, taken by Stewart quickly. In goes Suter. It's come off the back of Yilmaz, and it's got to go out for a corner kick to Kilmarnock. It could be now or never for Kelly. Can they find the equaliser here?
And Dennis, the goalkeeper's come up for this one. Interesting time.
It's going to be the in-swinger from the right hand side from Greg Stewart. Can the former Ranger create an equaliser? Knocks it to the back post, and it's out off a Rangers head for a corner on the far side. We've played 6.5 minutes of stoppage time. Rangers holding on here for a 2-1 victory. Everyone almost barring Rory McKenzie and the corner kick taker over on the far side inside the Rangers penalty area. Kilmarnock looking for a leveller. Can they find it? In comes the corner. Well won by Tavernier at the near post. Yilmaz is down inside the box. Play continues though. He's back on his feet. Can Rangers survive? It's Van Veen going for goal, but it's wide a target. It's going to be another corner. It took a nick off Diamonde. Kilmarnock surely running out of time. Is this the final opportunity? As across comes Stewart again to the right hand side. Oh, this will be hugely dramatic if Kilmarnock could level here. Will Dennis is at the edge of the Rangers 6-yard box, looking to get something on it. In it comes from Stewart. Again, it's deep to the back post. Back across goal, but not into the 6-yard box. In fact, behind for a goal kick. And surely now Rangers have done enough to see their way to the victory.
I think what's disappointing there, Al, is you've got the goalkeeper up, you've got all your big men up. It's two poor deliveries for Greg Stewart, you must say.
It's all over at Rugby Park. A massive victory, you feel, for Rangers, coming from behind to a Danny Armstrong penalty at half time, but turning it round at the start of the second half with goals from Tavernier with his 20th of the season from a free kick that Will Dennis couldn't keep out, and then just 4 minutes later Tom Lawrence latching onto the loose ball inside the box to smash it beyond Will Dennis. That was the end to the scoring. Kilmarnock pressed for a leveller. Dessers hit the bar with a volley as well, but Rangers continue to lead the way at the top of the table, overcoming the adversity from the first half. And despite Celtic's emphatic victory at Celtic Park, Rangers will hold on to the 2-point advantage. And let's join the Edinburgh Derby for the closing stages there. Your commentator is Liam McLeod.
It's up into the air over on the far side. We played 2 of the 5, but Frankie Kent's back on. He was down for a good minute or so there, so that'll get added on top of it too, as Kingsley turns it back to Clark.
It'd be better putting Beningame back there. Kent can hardly run.
He's limping pretty heavily. Beningami's cushion header. Grant with the header back to Beningame, out to this near side for Atkinson. Long ball down the right's a poor one though. He's not had a great night at all, Matt Atkinson.
They need a right back. They've been saying it for years now. They need a right back.
It's kind of petering out now, John.
Yeah, it is. It's between 70 and 80 minutes. Listen, it could have went anyway. It was end to end. There was lots of energy in the game. The fire's going out. I think now both teams would probably settle for a point. There's not been much chances in the last wee bit, but there were also a lot of tired bodies in the pitch. A lot of tired bodies.
So it's finished all over at Celtic Park. 7-1 is the full-time score as Hearts come down the left-hand side with Kingsley. And out to Forrest. He's been challenged and out for a throw-in. It goes to Hearts. With 2.5 of the 5, 3.5 of the 5 that were added have been played. As I say, there'll be a good 2.5 added on top of that, you would think, as Atkinson collects and rolls it out low onto this near side for Pollock. Shifts infield away from Abita, goes back the way to Kent. They probably don't want to be putting Frankie Kent into any kind of possession. Here's Rolls. And out to Kingsley. Chip ball. Nieuwenhof chasing it. He's not going to get there though. And it goes behind for the goal kick. And it will stay Hearts 1, Hibs 1. And it's looking increasingly like it will be another derby draw here at Tynecastle between these two this season.
Yeah, if Hearts were wanting to win it there, they'd have put the ball in the box. They're knocking about the back. It's slow, it goes wide, and then it goes out for a goal kick. Hibs have been building for the back to try and draw them out, and now they're just going to go long and kick it long and play percentages.
It's been a difficult evening for Hearts, but the bottom line is Kilmarnock have lost to Rangers and Hearts will have pulled a point further away from them. So in the end, they've increased their lead over Kilmarnock, assuming Hibs don't score here. And Levitt's popped it through to Boyle. Boyle tries to shoot and it's blocked, and Atkinson gets it away. Nieuwenhof back to Grant, long ball forward, Shanklin going after it. Bashiri's there though to nod it down for Newell, and he goes back to Fish. But we're about to go into a 6th minute of stoppage time. A little nutmeg by Miller on the far side, but he's ended up losing it. And it is Hearts in possession here with Forrest to Grant to the edge of the centre circle for Finlay Pollock. Runs into trouble in the shape of Newell, but Beningame emerges with it and shifts it out to the right-hand side for Atkinson. Level with the penalty spot, little step over, low ball, head away by Newell. Breaks to the penalty spot, down goes Shanklin, he's having a look at Kevin Clancy. No penalty.
No chance.
No penalty awarded by the referee. There's Kai Rolls, who's found Kent. He'll shift it out to the left for Kingsley. Within a 6th minute of added time, 5 were bolted on initially, and Hearts have a free kick over on the left-hand side. Right at the very end of this, as Motherwell score a late goal, a late-ish goal. They're of course 15 minutes behind us. They're 3-1 up now at Livingston. Livingston 1, Motherwell 3, and Jack Vale has scored it. So Motherwell heading for 3 points. Perhaps they will still be interested in a top 6 place. Free kick Hearts. Will they be able to find a winner here? Hibs have got everyone back at the edge of their own box. Free kick's lofted to the right hand side of it. Rolls. Shanklin with the touch. Almost broke to Grant. Hibs emerge with it with Triantis. Fires it out to Johan on this near side. Is there time for Hibs to launch a counter here? Johan steps in field away from Beningame. Takes on Atkinson. Not once but twice. Eventually gives it to Levitt, and now back with Newell. But there's the final whistle, and it's honours even in the capital. It was keenly contested across the 90 minutes, 90 plus minutes that were played here. They have to settle for a point apiece. Hibs led after a really good start through Emiliano Marcondes on the rebound after it was cleared off the line by Atkinson from Boyle. It chipped over the keeper. Marcondes made no mistake in the rebound, thumping it home to give Hibs what was at the time a deserved lead. Nick Montgomery will be furious that his team has not won this game, because the reason Hearts got a point is through an extremely controversial penalty which Lawrence Shanklin dispatched after a foul by Vargas, or on Vargas by Will Fish. The VAR for this one was Alan Muir. He told Kevin Clancy he'd have another look at it on the pitch side monitor, which he did. He elected to stand by his original decision, which was a Hearts penalty. And cool as you like, Shanklin smashed it into the left corner of the net, right in front of the Hibernian supporters in the School End. Second half, Hibs again probably shaded it, the better opportunities. The best one, though, by far fell for Mizani Maalida with a header at the back post. He's put it a yard wide. He really should have scored. And Hibs will be leaving Tynecastle tonight wondering how on earth they've not won this match because of that chance and the fact that that controversial penalty was awarded towards the end of the first half. It's still just 2 wins for Hibs at Tynecastle since 2013. Hearts, in the end, stretched their lead in third, given Kilmarnock lost against Rangers tonight at Rugby Park. They finished here in the capital at Tynecastle Park. Heart of Midlothian 1, Hibernian 1.
On digital radio.